No,
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Monday Sound Stream. As always, I am the Soundout12, joined by the Darkclaw643, aka Ryan.
Shazam!
And I'm also joined by the Fighter Cows, aka the Jerry.
The Jerry.
The Jerry.
Remember the thunder crashing part, though.
Yes.
They call me Jerry.
Now the match is like the Batman, the Batman was like the Jerry,
The Jerry.
and you just hear the music, the doon 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 doon, like from the movie in the background.
Danny Elfman, where are you?
Yeah, exactly. We need epic background score. Or we need a set like Seth Meyers' late night set where he can have like a thunder crash behind him in the cityscape. I want one of those.
Just get one that's like, or you should get like those like giant metal sheets and just like whack it, and then there's your thunder sound effect.
That could work too. But hey, everybody in the chat, who we got?
Yeah.
I saw people chatting before the stream even started, which is awesome. Who we got in the chat? Let's see. I'm gonna show
Brian
T, and Sucklos, and Blue Baron,
and Spin Dash. Did we get everybody?
Yep.
Cool.
So far. So what's on the docket?
We got a lot. I want to say we got a lot of stuff, but it's not like not a lot of these topics are super deep. But welcome to the chat, Kamen Jojo.
Sucklos asked, "How did you see the sunrise?"
It did brighten up my day. But did I see?
Wait, was there a Zodia model kit announced?
There's an Exodia model kit that leaked.
Ooh.
A figurized standard amplified Exodia to go with the blue eyes that came out this month.
I need to look that up. That sounds exciting, actually.
SSJ4 Jason reminded me of something I did want to talk about that I totally forgot to put in the show notes, so I'm going to pull it up right now. Add it to my list. Yeah, let's see where we put it. Let's put it there. Okay. Rider reference. Black Sun reference. Oh. Dang it. I messed up.
Okay, then the belt came out.
I think so. Spin Dash asked, do you usually prefer original design or amplified? It depends, because I like amplified Machine Dramon, and I like amplified Shine Greymon, but then again, they're very similar to their original designs.
Isn't Machine Dramon just his original design? I only didn't even much
It's
change.
A little more techy. Like, they added some more tech details. Same with, like, Shine Greymon. With the Yu-Gi-Oh kits, like, the amplified ones look really nice. I
have a lot of them. I have a lot of the amplified kits. I really love the Galamon. The Galamon's probably my favorite one. The War Greymon, I think, is decent, but his hips are really bad. Like in terms of like their ball joint, but I think they're polycap ball joints, so they love to pop off.
Yeah.
A lot. And I really want to get the Beelzemon. I like the Beelzemon.
The Beelzemon looks cool. I kind of want it, but money, space.
The problem is they're expensive because they have a lot of parts counts.
And they're huge. That's why I'm looking over my shelf and I'm like, I don't think I have room.
I mean, the Machine Dramon is scale with the Udos.
That's true. Jerry, what do you think? Amplified or standard for Figure-Eyes?
I go with standard. I just want how it looks, how it's supposed to look.
I do want to get the amplified Batman.
Unless there's something cool. Although you guys brought up the War Greymon, that was one of the ones I thought looked cool, but I don't remember if there was. Ryan, were you saying the hips?
The hips they love to pop off every time you move them.
Muteki T says Beelzemon is solid.
It will look great with the Galopmon.
Yeah.
I love the Galopmon amplified kit.
Welcome to the chat. The Hot Rod Shot. We were talking about these just a minute ago. Now we got the Hot Rod Shot.
I would love they make a amplified or regular model kit, Elemental Hero Neos from GX.
That'd be cool. Psycho
or just any of the GX Elemental Heroes. I love those designs so much.
Psycho says the Black Sun belt has motor issues.
Oh yeah, because that's the gimmick. It's like self-motorized and stuff like that.
Yep. Okay, before we get sidetracked, because I always forget to do this. I forgot to do this last week. Time to plug the channel that you're currently watching. Aside from the fact my screen share is not working, so it's not auto-scrolling with my scrolling. I have to fix this now. Thank you to
OBS.
Thanks OBS for not just working with me here.
Woo!
I'll be right back. Let's switch it to. Let's see. I can't switch it to intermission and work on this, can I? I have to work on this live.
I mean, people can see
Unfortunately,
people can see your videos right there. So
they can. I just later on, if I want to. There we go. I fixed it. Does it work now? There we go. This is gonna be important because later on when I'm doing other news topics, yeah. Let's hide my bookmarks. We don't need to know what's my bookmarks. They're nothing like bad. It's just mostly Starlinks. All right, so on the channel this past week we had a Hasbro Pulse unboxing. And
how's your lightning figures?
We'll talk about that in a moment. I have another Hasbro Pulse box that we can open now on this stream. That'll be fun.
More QC adventures right there inside there.
Maybe. And then the other video was my big, which is funny because the preview is just my thumb in front of Bluegrass's shoulder. The Silverhawks Ultimates Wave 2 review. That is kind of a big deal for me because I've been waiting like 2 years for these figures to come out.
How's that chair?
The chair's pretty fun. I like the chair a lot. And then the QC Problems Continue. The Lightning Collection is a new short available that I sent to Hasbro because I was like, look at your figures. Is this what you think is okay? So if you missed any of those videos, those are there. Coming up this week is going to be stuff depending on what shows up in the mail. But there is I think Wednesday's video is already locked. It's going to be the Tiger and Bunny Proplica storage bangles because no one's reviewed them. So it's my duty.
They're good old henching devices they have, which they only had like a transformation scene like once.
Yep.
In season 2.
and they made $90 prop replica versions.
I still love them.
They're cool. Muteki T says saw Spider-Man Marvel Legend retro 90s animate for $34.99. Get or skip. If you really want that 90s animated style look, that's probably the best price you can get it for at the moment.
That figures more accurate to the 90s series than the first retro card.
Right.
The first retro card is more inspired by John Romita.
John Romita Senior's,
style than the 90s series.
Yeah, so if you want that 90s animated look, go for it because that's probably the best price you'll get since it was a Walmart exclusive originally.
Mm-hmm. Oh, speak of Lightning Collection QC, if you follow me on Twitter, you might have saw my Dialer Yellow breaking.
Yes, I saw that.
Yeah, because what happened was me and Sam were discussing about his QC issues Wednesday. Then the next day when he posted his short, I was like, let me check out my Dialer Yellow. Hair Rebels can't be that bad, right? Move once, broke. It's like, wow, I had this figure for months, and now it broke on me? Like, I had the figure for a long while now, and it just broke right there. And, like what happened? What happened? Because, like,
what happened?
Like, what happened? What happened? Because, having, like, the Shriek body mold from Marvel Legends, and those arm elbows are fine when my Silk and Spinneret and such. So it's like, what happened here? It's like, seriously.
We have to retweet you.
Muteki T says, sorry about your Dino Thunder Yellow. Spin Dash says that.
Spin Dash. I
saw the tweets. Yeah, DX Silver 2 left feet and Putrid 2 right feet. That's just crazy.
It's like sometimes I see that and I go like, is there even like an actual person doing QC check, or is there like it's just like a robot and just sees like?
I feel like nobody, not even a robot. How many range? Okay, Kyron Jojo says, how many ranges in the Lightning Collection we still need? The number was 97. That sounds about right. Like, they can't even finish Beast Morphers. Speaking of Power Rangers, last thing I'm plugging before we get into the news. Hero Club has a spoiler-free review of the upcoming Mighty Morphin Power Rangers issue 106. I believe there is another review coming this week as well that will be spoiler related.
That would be written by Zeltrax, if I remember right.
Zeltrax wrote the spoiler review for Wednesday. Brian Benjamin wrote our non-spoiler review. So if you want to go check out a non-spoiler review of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers 106, it's over on Hero Club.
Man, I am so behind the comics. I just go like, who's that Ghost Rider looking fella right there?
It's okay. I don't know who he is either.
I have to ask. when I was like, who is that?
He looks cool, and I want a toy.
Cause I know, like, the last arc I followed was the Green Ranger Matt storyline.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I wasn't even reading it; I was just like keeping up with what's going on there. But it's like, what the? I saw the middle guy when I first saw the article. I was like, we're saying Power Rangers, right?
Oh yeah, we're just doing comic stuff where we don't have to follow physics. Adding to that, Spin Dash says, DC Blue with the loosest hips in the world got a replacement, and the hips are just as loose and the paint even worse.
I think there's no
winning, is there?
Because I think every single Dinosaurs Blue I've seen has those. I think that's just because that's just the male pinless buck now. It's just some reason the loose hips.
Yep. All right, let's open my Hasbro Pulse box because.
Question about the. Oh, welcome to chat, someone.
Hello, someone. I love usernames, guys.
Question for the pinless male mold. Do they have drop down hips or no?
Yes.
Okay, so that's probably yes. I'm assuming that has to be the reason why the legs are so loose because of the drop down hips. Even though every other Hasbro line with drop down hips don't have that problem, like Classified or Renew Your Valor Spidey.
So guys, I got paper.
Woo!
Oh, someone says I used to be that guy, but now I'm someone now. That's awesome. You've upgraded. You've digivolved into someone.
So it's like no, it's Guilty Gear. It's Asuka.
Oh yeah.
So which box is that, by the way?
This is my Hasbro Pulse warehouse sale round 2 because they added more stuff. Yeah, round 2 they added more toys.
Package. Told you guys right before the stream started. Post office. We don't have your toy.
Mm-hmm.
Other guy, it's back. It's right here.
Speaking of Jerry, while Sal gets everything ready, would you like to tell your Super Saiyan 4 Goku story?
Yes. I will. So I finally got my Super Saiyan 4 Goku figure art. When he was announced, I pre-ordered him on Amazon. Bluefin had a delay, and Amazon took that as not a delay, but as it's never coming out. So they sent emails and saying, "Hey, we're Amazon. We got your back. We canceled that order for you, buddy." I didn't tell you to cancel anything. It's coming. It's just delayed. Big Bad Toy Store finally gets. When did they start finally getting them in stock?
God, like a year after it came out because it got delayed.
Yeah. So I finally pre-ordered that. It gets shipped like this month because I was like, oh, let me ship it. And when it gets shipped, the storm hit. The nor'easter that we got here in around here in Northeast. That apparently messed everything up because DHL was the one who they used for shipping, but then it got sent to my post office. But I didn't know that. I never got any sort of information that it was now the post office and wait for it for the post office, because when I checked the tracking, it just says en route. And then I finally checked the post office tracking. It says it's at your post office.
And then you went to the post office, right?
I went to the post office today. I'm like, hey, I didn't know you guys had it this whole time. And they're like, okay, give us a tracking number. We'll look for it. I can't find it. I'll write down the tracking number, and I'm going to tell my supervisor about it. I don't know where it is. It doesn't seem to be back there. And the other person, too, I also can't find it. I don't know where it is. And then when they're about to, write the tracking number down and tell me they'll call me, also another post office worker from the back shows up and goes, "You mean this? It was right here the whole time. Like, you guys suck. Here you go, dude. Sorry about that." And I finally got my Goku.
So now, you finally got your Goku. It's been like 2 months since I got Vegeta. God, it took forever for you to get this figure. I'm so glad you finally got it.
That's why I'm terrified to when I ordered whenever I get
in the chat. I learned my lesson. He said never pre-order.
I'm getting really terrified when I want to get the Spy X family figure arts of the Lloyd family, and I'm just terrified the nightmare I have to go through if I'm going to get them.
Spin Dash got the 2 Tamashii brick wall sets. One was literally open and missing the stand arm. Wow, that sucks. That sucks. All right, we're gonna open up what's inside. Guess what, guys? Guess what this box is all from one property. It's not a mix this time.
Transformers.
Bingo. So I got Twitch from Earthspark because I don't like the Earthspark toys that much, but I'll get the Terrans because I like the Terrans.
Well, because they're gonna be the only toys of them, and
exactly.
plus, Megatron Mulby are super ass scale.
Yeah, I don't really like the lineup of like figures, but I'm gonna get Twitch and Nightshade and Thrash. That's not right.
Trash. Yeah.
Trash. Yeah, and then hashtag and
Jawbreaker.
I will get the 5 of them. I don't think I'm gonna get anybody else, but so I got Twitch. I got Twitch to make that happen. So I'm not building Mandroid. I don't think he looks that good.
You don't want to get Diedrich Bader?
I do, but I have so many figures of Diedrich Bader at this point. Someone make Zeta. Anyways,
please.
Legacy Evolution Hotshot, because I guess we're just putting things on sale like right after they come out.
I think some a lot of people like say this figure's not as good. Honestly, besides some issue with the legs, I actually like the figure a lot.
He looks better than the Universe one.
No, the Universe one, I don't like that figure at all. That backpack is a nightmare.
We also got Needle Nose.
That figure's great. Like, I was not expecting that figure. I got just to complete the weight, but like that's a surprisingly great figure with great visibility and transformation.
So,
and then we got Junkie on Dude number 3 because what's his name? Scrap Hook. I like
the army of the Mad Max army begins.
like, see.
What were you thinking? Jared?
Oh, so yeah, explain that line to me.
Which line?
Which line?
Those Transformers you got. Oh, don't tell me they're different lines.
Oh yeah.
Earthspark is the line based off the current cartoon, and Evolution is the next main line Transformers.
Yeah, this is like your collector's line, Legacy Evolution, and like Earthspark's the current
kids line.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted to know. Yeah.
Even though like Twitch is like $20, and then like Needle Nose was $25. Like that's a bit of the price difference. But like it is funny. Brian mentioned the warehouse sale prices are what the figures should actually cost. Honestly, yeah. Like I feel outside of the Power Rangers, because of course they showed up all like busted and crap. But like getting these like that was great because I had canceled all my Wave 1 pre-orders and I got Leo Prime in the first box. I got these guys. The only one that wasn't on sale was Breakdown because it sold out and I already had Breakdown to finish Menosaur. So
I did. There was an email from Paul saying Dragon Megatron's like now in stock. I'm like tempted because that's like the one.
Oh yeah,
like,
it's the Evolution box of.
Yeah,
Dragon Megatron.
I still didn't get that. I need to get him in Inferno. I can never find those two ever.
Get Inferno before Megatron because he was not carried forward. I did get the Heroes Born set.
How much was that on sale?
35% off because I had premium. So whatever. Whatever the price was minus 35%. I did not really care for the Orion Pax part of this because I don't really care that much about Orion Pax. I was mostly
it's Alpha Trion. It's Alpha Trion.
I can't point. Alpha Trion and Vector Sigma was what I was getting for.
I still want to get that set because I need an Alpha Trion.
This is the least fancy convention box I've seen though. This is.
Remember back in the day when
I like that box art.
It is nice. It's just like, yeah, it's dead Orion Pax to become Optimus later.
I mean, as I mentioned in the Legacy rundown, you can recreate Orion's death by popping his limbs off. That's
true. I'm gonna check Needle Nose real quick because there was that one dude that got Shrapnel's weapons twice.
Yeah, not as Tiger Masters.
I'm pretty sure that was just a freak accident. Somehow twice, but I'm gonna check Needle Nose's accessories. I'm not gonna open anybody else up. I'm feeling pretty confident with Transformers these days.
No, it's really only like Lightning that has all this weird QC nonsense going on.
Mm-hmm. Though, as we will discuss, it's not the only one having weird release nonsense too either. So.
I mean, with Legacy, it's so weird with Legacy because sometimes they're 25, their market's 25. Like when I got my figures, I got them for 22, like the old price. So it's like, it's always interesting.
Mm-hmm. All right, this feels not like Shrapnel's guns.
Yeah, you feel two dudes in there.
I'm not gonna say that out loud on camera. That's gonna get you against me.
Look at the chat. A Dragusus.
And.
Is there ever a good demand for Orion Pax? It's just kind of a bonus figure for like hardcore collectors. Like, not many people I see want Orion Pax, but just like a nice like, hey, he's out there kind of thing.
Okay, so One of the little dudes is their guns aren't attached. I don't know why.
No, that's how it is packed. That's how it is supposed to be packed.
Also, I just hate this, like...
Tissue paper?
It tears so easily. I just want to unwrap it. I don't want it to, like, shred.
Make mess everywhere. Save the environment, Hasbro says.
Use more cardboard, Hasbro says. Anyways, how's this gun supposed to work? I should not do this right now. I'm just gonna get distracted. Also, I like how the box shows the barrels painted purple, but they're not. Yeah. That doesn't feel right.
Wait, say again?
Oh, I was trying to get the blaster attached. It just, like, there's so much, like, glossy paint on this dude that it doesn't, like, move smoothly.
Yeah, it kind of ratchets. It sort of ratchets when you use the gun. So it's only supposed to be like that.
There's not as much paint as on the render. That's for sure. But anyway, it's got two little dudes, so I'm just gonna set them there, not lose that fin, and then just shove this guy back in his box, because I don't want to open a bunch of toys right now, because we got news topics. We got news topics.
We do?
Yeah.
I did found Metal Hawk recently, because he, because he's just bleeding, he's, like, I think it's only a Wave 2 figure, like available a lot of places.
Yeah, for some reason he's shipped without twin cast.
Yeah, but like I'm happy. I want to get Twin Cast, but I'm happy to get one of my favorite Transformers out characters.
Let's see. Someone says I'm getting the Kakashi SHF on Wednesday. I'm very excited. You should be. That's a great figure.
Who's next for the Naruto figure arts?
Now, you did review that, right?
I did review it. Yeah. Yes. If anyone wants to see how Kakashi is, I did a review.
Young Naruto and Young Sasuke are next, right? For the line.
Young Naruto, Young Sasuke, and then who knows after that because they haven't shown anybody else.
I expect Jiraiya probably because it looks like kind of going through the main characters right now.
Yeah.
Because they'll never make Sai, even though he's part of Team 7.
Let's see. Brian says Nerdzoic said on a podcast.
Welcome to the chat, Collecting and Hobbies Maximum.
Also, welcome to the chat, True Hellfire Gaming. Answering that question, I think the Hasbro sale's over, like as of yesterday, I think.
Collecting Hobbies Max. I mean, watching all your unboxings and bag experience with Lightning Collection. Hasbro Vietnam vendors need to get their crap together.
Yep.
Are they still looking for people to hire as QC testers?
I don't know because I don't remember. Shigs mentions both tissue paper bags in Blue Centurion were the same size for the figure and the accessories. Yeah, that's just how they do it. It's just an obscene amount of paper. Rolling back up. Brian mentioned Nerdzoic said on a podcast that one of his Hasbro sources said the plastic-free packaging will be going away because it affected sales too much. I believe Nerdzoic because Nerdzoic runs a toy store. He's not just a YouTuber. So his sources are closer than we think. But I would be very happy to see the plastic-free packaging go away because it just doesn't do anything.
I mean, we're kind of already seeing that because the Spider-Man Retro Wave and the upcoming Spider-Verse waves are bubble cards.
Yep. I think we're gonna go back to like reduced plastic, but we're still gonna have plastic because it's what is it? Scott Knightlick was talking about. There's like it's a psychology thing. Like if a parent sees a closed face box, they think it's a board game or a building toy, not like an action figure. And that because
when people think of like closed off cardboard boxes, they think like Lego and such like that.
Mm.
They think it's a building toy like model kits and such.
Right. So, on that note. Let's talk about some closed face packaging. If Brian, if you have a link to the Nerdzoic, I don't know if it was on like Nerdzoic's podcast or something, but if you have a link to that, that'd be great for everyone to check out if they want to. All right, cool. Let's talk about things you can buy right now if you can get stuff from P Bandai US. I still wish there was more P Bandai global distribution. But Shin Kamen Rider 2 is now available for pre-order on P Bandai US. I have the Shin Kamen Rider 1 on order because he's retail. I can't afford to get this right now because I'm waiting to buy
$80. But he got
because of the coat. Because of the coat.
Yeah, that coat. You got drip.
They look really nice together. I'm hoping I can get this guy on the aftermarket because those coats look. I think this coat looks even better than the first one.
Is the movie out now?
It came out in Japan. Yep. We have zero idea when it's getting to the rest of the world.
I saw somebody we know talk about the movie who saw it in Japan. Kojima. Hideo Kojima.
Yeah, Kojima.
Yep, Kojima saw it.
He's like, it's all right.
I think this figure looks great. I would totally get it, but I have to spend the $80 on other things, and the other things, I mean Digimon and Indiana Jones. So, that's how that goes. Also, if you are looking for the Kamen Rider Geats Boost Magnum Form and Fever Form part set, that is now available to P-Banda US as well. I'm skipping this because I just have no reason to get this. But this is, we thought at first they might be dumb and release Boost and Magnum as two different figures, but they're just releasing Boost Magnum, and then you can use that to make Magnum with the Fever Buckle and the Scarf, or Boost the Fever Buckle and the Scarf. So they were smart. They're like, here, get this, and then add it to your...
You could get a pair of shirts and pants with your figures.
Yep. And Nigo's a new mold because he's taller. If you look at here... He's actually not reusing parts from Ichigo because he's actually a taller character. So he's actually a different mold. So with the gold scarf, which is great, but the thing is, this is my only problem with this figure is it's $85. Geats, who came with basically almost the same like parts count, this guy comes with a scarf and an extra buckle.
Insert Malibu Stacy clip and Simpsons here.
Yeah, the thing is, this guy was what, like 3,300 yen. This is $85. Do they just sell main writers at a loss? Like, it's weird to me.
I think that's their strategy. Is since it's the main character, they can kind of take a hit by selling the cheaper price because they know more people want to get the main character.
Right, because this has three sets of hands.
Super Chat. Welcome to the chat, Super Shag Boom.
Welcome to the chat. It's got 3 extra sets of hands, same as Geats. Magnum Shooter, Magnum mode, just like Geats. Fever Slap, Raised Buckle, the Scarf, and the extra Compound Eyes is like the 3 new accessories. And it does have the cool like fox hand pose, which is kind of a cool thing. But I think. That Spin Dash reminded me, yes, that that Magnum Boost was a premium price, is that they call it. They release it cheaper, and then the re-release is going to be like full price. And so I guess that's just basically what they do. But this is great if you're going all in on Geats. I have noticed after looking over it, the form swap gimmick is cool, but it pretty much only is servicing Geats and not any of the other writers. So
it's that whole thing where like totally blew the budget for a bunch of these side forms and just kind of dropped them near the show progresses.
Because essentially it's like the Geats, the parts that come with Ninja make it so you can make Geats Ninja but not Buffa Ninja, for example. That kind of thing. Like this only comes with Fever Scarf. You don't get the Fever for the other.
Yeah, we haven't seen any other characters swap buckles in a long while on the show.
Yeah. So it's just how it's been. But I think it's cool. Do you guys have any thoughts on Mr. Boost Magnum here?
As someone who doesn't really collect writer figures, it's one of those things where I go like, oh, that's cool. Price is stupid. Kind of thing.
That's pretty much exactly what I was gonna say, right?
Yeah. I like
cool. Boy, I ain't paying that.
I think if it was a new character, because I guess I should say I think I did buy Buffa and Tycoon, and they're about this price, right?
Well, yeah, they're new, but they have new part.
They're new characters. Yeah, Buffa and Tycoon were $80 though. This is more.
I get. It's one of the. It's those $5 for that scarf.
Yeah. I think if I was gonna buy one of these two, I would get Nico. I just don't think I can because my budget in April is tight, very very tight.
I know, right? It's insane when it comes to. This is why I don't collect figure arts, and even with even I only get figures of characters that I really love and need. Mm-hmm. For example, or franchise I deeply care about, where I'll buy most of it. And Kamen Rider is a franchise that unless it's a character I really really love, that I don't really go out of my way to collect really.
Yeah.
Especially with other stuff I collect, because it's one of the things where I do love Kamen Rider, but I don't think I love it enough where I would keep
super
collecting
premium figures. Yeah.
Yeah, like, that's why, like, even like, I keep thinking like, oh, maybe I'll collect the gimmick figures, but the problem is with shipping fees and everything, that they're so expensive also, and stuff like that. So it's usually why I don't, as much as I can now, I still don't go out of my way to collect Tokusatsu stuff because it's just too much for me.
It's price prohibitive because of shipping. Shipping has killed a lot of my Tokusatsu buying.
It's easier for me. It's easier for me to just go to my local comic shop and just buy like one of the DC Multiverse figures they have there, than just go online and such. Like again, the only such our franchise that I really deeply care about is when I will buy one of these things because it's such one of those things where there'll never be another action figure of this character kind of thing scenario.
Answering a couple questions in the chat, Muteki T says if they do Punk Jack, would you get it? Yes, I love Punk Jack. It's actually like my favorite side rider in Geats. I would totally get Punk Jack. Yeah. I totally would. Common Jojo says we need more Kamen Rider villain SHFs. It's kind of ridiculous. There's not that much. Yeah, they don't make the monsters very much. I think because of price.
It's price molding, and I think it's the whole Japan doesn't really liking villain figures or unless that's like at least from what I remember hearing about.
Yeah. Muteki T says prediction for what the next writer for Bandai Hobby. Muteki T says Gaim. I think they're gonna save Gaim for last.
If you talk about like Figure Eye Standard
writer. What do you think?
Because Wizard just got announced, and I think so. What's left is Gaim, Drive, and who's left? Kiva. I see Drive next because he's the most simple out of the three of them.
Yeah.
Because he's mostly red, black, and filled with a silver. Where I think the most complex one will probably be Kiva. He has a lot of colors.
Yeah, he has all the silver and all that.
All the silver, the red, the black teeth. Because I imagine, he had the black on the chest would be probably like a layering color, like color parts, like a black layer, then the red layer on top of the black layer to get that black vein look on the chests and such.
Jerry, what do you think? What do you think the next Rider model kit is?
What it would be?
Yeah. Drive, Gaim, or Kiva?
Gaim.
I'm predicting.
I think fruit riders are very popular still.
That would be a big news item.
I think Drive. I see Drive more because I feel like with Gaim they might want to future proof that figure by engineering like some kind of form change figure if they ever make the other riders. So you can give like you can whenever the Baron model gets released, you can easily swap parts to give Gaim a banana arms and such.
That would be pretty cool.
That would take a lot more engineering to make sure every part is like modular, where you can take off
would drives also be modular for the tires?
I don't think so, because all you need to do is like they can have a seam line down the middle of the tire, so they can easily split it apart and then pop a new tire in. Not really. You don't have to do like the old like gaming line where you have to literally pop the figure in half.
SSJ4 say Jason said Gaim too, but Muteki T said, "Hey, could be a Showa or Reiwa rider randomly."
They could. I mean, they did say they were trying to finish the Heisei riders, but they could just randomly throw 0-1 at us, or.
I mean, Taylor already had the entry build stuff.
Yeah. I was gonna say, welcome to the chat.
X get one.
Tommy Talks, welcome to the chat. If they do Drive, they better do Trideron. Imagine model kit car.
I mean, they do those, but like they're always in their own scale.
Yeah, but like imagine like you just that thing would be mostly shell, so I mean it would be doable.
It would still be expensive, but like not Flame Dodger, but more Michael Keaton Batmobile.
Spin Dash brings up a good point about P-Banda US. You can do order consolidation. You just have to make sure you pay with a credit card, not PayPal, because essentially they'll just refund your card like the shipping if you have items in the same month and it can be combined. I've done that before. It's nice. You can get your $10 back for shipping.
Honestly,
I got a joke about X. Why they would do it? Because it could come with an extra accessory, crippling depression.
I was gonna joke Kinika Man. Which, speaking of new Kinika Man anime coming out for all 7 of those Kinika Man fans out there.
Hey, I have Kinika Man toys when they were called Muscle.
Muscle in the US, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, when I was 5 years old, I would buy a bunch of those as a kid.
Just to answer a quick question, there is 3 original Shadow Moon figure arts. There is a version 1 original, a version 2 that was more accurate, and a Seiho. So there is plenty of Shadow Moons out there.
Didn't they make a Red Shadow Moon based off the Bad Boy War game?
No, I don't think they actually made it. They showed it though.
In terms of, honestly, I'm more looking forward to like if they ever do a Figure Eye Standard Geats, because that'd be all in one. You could do both forms, knowing Figure Eye Standard. Figure Eye Standards are nuts. They just like those kits are usually like you get everything in one box most of the time. You know, something to do with I know Blighted doing a Session pack for, but most of the time you get everything in one box unless you're Aguto for some reason.
Yeah. Moving on to the next news topic. Bandai loves to just randomly throw us things like Ultraman Powered's Flash Prism as the next Ultra replica. What happened to Ultraman X? I swear there was a leak about X.
They really do not want to touch the X device.
It's not that big. I want y'all to know this thing is $120. It's not that big.
No, it's not. I always like Power's device, so it does kind of look like a shrunken down Bop It toy, honestly.
I am just amazed that the show shot in LA is the one that got a toy. And it's because it's 30, but like they didn't do anything for Great for its 30th.
Well, Great's just a necklace. That's why.
I know, but they didn't do they could have done that as a fashion item. Bandai loves making necklaces. The original deluxe toy was bigger. This is weird. Usually when they do these like, you know, comparisons, like, look how much bigger the new one is. And they're like, look, it's smaller.
Smaller.
But that means it's more accurate.
It's more accurate, yeah.
The thing that I find kind of cool about this is also because I think you can buy every King Kosogi transformation item now in a fancy edition or something. I don't know. That guy's been around a lot. But it's just funny that they just rolled out Powered. And we're like, hey, here, have the Flash Prism. This one didn't leak or anything either.
It just got revealed.
Yeah. So apparently you can it does the Henshin sequence in a more natural state. It's got a stand. After transforming, you can activate various special attack sounds as well as sounds from all 17 powered monsters.
I'm about to say, is there no dialogue? They don't want to get all the English actors to come back?
I don't know, because it does show dialogue, so like maybe it does, but I don't know if it has like Sho Kosogi voicing Powered or Kane's voices in it. I will say though, all right, where's the Mill Creek Blu-ray?
Fun fact: did you know that famous actor Jeffrey Combs was in the episode of Ultraman Powered?
Which technically makes Ultraman Powered a Star Trek show.
And in the DC show, the Transformers Prime.
Yep. I think that's it. Oh, there is. Yeah. Let's see if Collectibles has it up. Otherwise, I won't go over it deeply. There is a new complete selection gigantic Kuga weapon. I just don't have the stuff ready for that because I think it was just a teaser.
I'm actually surprised.
We'll talk about it when the full images come out.
I'm surprised Good Smile or Bandai, whoever wants to do it, hasn't announced or doing like some kind of DX like CMS or whatever you want to call it of the old Acceptor Gridman.
The original, device. Yeah, because they did the anime one.
They did the anime one, but I'm surprised they did not take advantage of the Gridman universe marketing by making a new toy of the old Acceptor yet.
And yes, King Kosogi did voice Powered in the Ultra Galaxy Fight English dub.
But still, honestly, like there's like Henshin devices. I think the Gridman Scepter has always been like, especially the original one, has always been one of my favorite Henshin devices. It's just a simple, hit your forearm and those little two blue like spring up. I always love that. That's one of my favorite Henshin devices. Honestly, for me, it's like the more simpler, the better for Henshin changers. Yeah,
definitely. I like the simpler devices. It does suck when you look at the prices though. Sometimes on these like memorial editions, it's like, how much is it for, but like they usually add a lot of sounds. Let's do another Ultraman update. If you guys remember this weird Battle Kaiju series, Ultraman vs. Red King Blu-ray, it was supposed to have been out already. It was supposed to be out in March originally. It got delayed till June 3rd. Now it's been delayed till June 27th. And now they took the artwork away to put Blu-ray artwork coming soon.
That was funny. That artwork, the placeholder looks. Is that Matt Frank art? Or
it was. It was one of his Ultraman covers from one of the Marvel comics, which they already had. Like the packaging presentation looked like the deep discount exclusive, like the Rise of Ultraman Blu-ray.
Yeah.
Why is this getting pushed back and pushed back and pushed back when it's just compiling Red King episodes they've already released?
Maybe it's here like something going on with Milky, or just maybe you need to get the approval of Subaraya.
I have no
Did they just
idea what's
release-
happening, but part of me's like, what if the Ultraman 80 Max and Mabius episodes are getting updated to HD? Because it's just
because
weird
it's a
that
Blu-ray.
there's this collection. It's a 2-disc Blu-ray, and like 4 of the shows represented, and there is a lot of Max on here. There's 3 Max episodes, 280. Let's see, so 1, 2, 3, or no, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 of the 16 episodes are from SD shows. So it's on Blu-ray. It's a 2-disc Blu-ray, but like, why does it keep getting pushed back? I'm sitting here. I have it on order. I'm gonna get this thing, figure out what it's like, and see if if they upgrade the video quality on those 6 episodes. But there is nothing else for Milk Creek Ultraman at the moment. I've been digging through listings on several sites. Our next Ultraman Blu-ray release is Shin Ultraman on June 13th. And I bring this up because I don't have anything else to talk about with the Milk Creek Ultraman stuff until then. Somebody suggested me do a tier list of the Milk Creek Ultraman stuff, and I might have to do that.
Is Zareth on the very bottom?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I don't know what's going on, but Shin Ultraman's the 13th, and then the 27th is this weird Red King collection that I don't know why it's taking longer. And what's crazy is it comes out June 27th, but Amazon's only guaranteeing a July 7th delivery. Yeah, I don't know what's gonna happen, but I will keep covering it. So,
as you are the Ultraman, you are the Milk Crate Ultraman archive.
I have been called the Tokusatsu home video guy.
Yeah, because no one else will talk about it.
No, I mean, I don't know what else Shout's got going on. We Sentai was rolling with the once one comes out, they'd announce the next one, but now we're rolling into let's just release the ones we've already released at retail.
Oh, hey, shout out to the chat and said we need an Ultraman 80 remaster.
Yes. For the theme song alone.
Exactly, so I control wheels again by having sirens.
Exactly.
You guys don't know that story. I was like, hey, Ultraman 80 is cool. And I showed him the theme song. I was watching off my TV. Just happened to be a fire truck coming by. And it blew out his ears.
Oh my god.
What's our next topic?
Our next topic is, because we're talking about Lightning Collection. Oh my god, Shout moved their store to Shopify. Is that why we...
Oh, really?
No, now we can't hack their site and dig around for listings.
Damn
it. Like, if they ain't got a budget for a real store? Like,
I don't know. A lot of places have been switching to Shopify.
Okay, Shopify's good.
It's good. But it also means you can't dig around for listings.
You think they'd have their own?
But here's the thing. Shout's website is, like, terrible, so I would take it. I think a Shopify is an upgrade, because you couldn't... The search bar sometimes wouldn't even work. So,
that's sad, actually.
Yeah.
But all right.
Kamen Jojo, what about Western Tokusatsu music releases? Outside of stuff popping up on iTunes, there isn't any.
Never.
And somebody has a document, and I want to say it's Spin Dash. Correct me if I'm wrong, but someone has a Google Doc running with all this stuff.
Like,
I need to remember things better.
And most you'll find like official uploads of the openings and such from on YouTube, but that's because usually the band puts them up.
Yeah, Spin Dash. Spin Dash has a list. I remember. I try to remember things. All right, so Lost Galaxy Yellow's official. I don't really want to talk about the figure because I think I've already discussed this to death with the leaks.
Well, again, we gotta love. I love the artwork on the back.
That's the point I was going to point out. So this is the box. This is our first time looking at the box. I got to give credit to Willie Jaco for popping this up. The box art having Maya holding the closed version of the Quasar Saber is mad annoying. Yeah, because it's not a dagger form. And that just, it goes into the whole, like, overall discussion we've had over and over and over again of, like, nobody's really paying attention that close, right? Like, that's just where we're at the moment.
Honestly, I just start laughing at the idea of, like, the Lost Guys are going to try and, like, fight with their dagger forms going, like, aha! Aha! Like a fencing.
Did someone watch Dino Fury and saw the Dino dagger form of the sword and thought that this worked the same way?
Nope. Or they think it's like the crystal saber. That's just what the sword looks like.
Yeah. Here's the thing. the problem here is that they use the same accessory loadout as the single-packed Lost Galaxy Red, which included the Quasar launcher, but not the Saber, because I don't know why. I don't know why it was like that. I mean, that Quasar launcher is a cool piece. You know, it's a really unique mold. It's got a ton of paint. When they did the Red, it was after he was in a 2-pack, which came with the full-size sword. So I think most people were like, oh, that's annoying, but we got over it. This is the last member in the last release of the team, and this is the problem, right? The problem is the Quasar launcher is great, but it takes up too much budget, right? So my thought is, why the hell did they switch tactics again? Because they switched from Red having the launcher and no Saber to Blue, Green, and Pink having no launcher, but they had the Saber and then the Trans Dagger, because the Trans Dagger fits in budget better, right? But then for some reason we went back to the launcher for Maya, and I think, you know, it's likely that the budget of the figure can't handle a full-size Quasar Saber and a Quasar launcher. So don't do the launcher then, because now we have 2 launchers and 3 Trans Daggers.
I think I know why this happened. More thinking about it, you know why?
Why?
They didn't want to put any more budget into the figure, so they just reuse because they need. That means because
I forgot, wasn't her Trans Dagger the split two daggers?
Yes, because they didn't want to make anything new besides the helmet. Because the body, they only just want to put, because not counting, of course, it has the pinless stuff, but like the double joint helmets, but that's already made technically. Mm-hmm. They didn't want to put too much effort like money into. Yeah, because
she's reusing parts from previous. She hasn't. I think the only new thing is her new hands.
Yeah, that's it, and it's cheaper for them to make just 2 new heads and some new hands than 2 new accessories.
Because she's reusing Trini's legs. She's not reusing Kendrick's legs. She's using Trini's because no skirt.
So it is purely a pure budget figure. It's a pure let's get it out of the way kind of thing.
For real.
And you know what's fun about that is I think you're totally right. And the best part about this is it's exclusive. Let's talk about Hasbro's lies. I don't like to throw on the word lie lightly, but this is a straight up lie. So, first of all, Hasbro Pulse tweeted this tweet saying, "Make it yellow at the Lightning Collection SPD and Lost Galaxy Yellow Rangers, available for pre-order exclusively at GameStop with limited quantities on Hasbro Pulse." Okay, why is this a lie? Because this was posted 10 minutes after Entertainment Earth and Big Bad Toy Store already had them up.
Oops.
Also, adding to that, I forgot to pull up that. Let's go check right now. Because when there's something that says limited stock on Hasbro Pulse, they mention it on the Hasbro Pulse website. So, look, first of all, they're still up for order. Second of all, on the page, usually when it's a store exclusive, it says it on the page. But it doesn't. There is nothing that says GameStop exclusive on Maya's page nor Z's page. I need to find a better example so we can see what I'm talking about. Let's go. We'll spoil a G.I. Joe topic in a moment. But if you look at Night Force Big Ben here, it says exclusive to Walmart, limited quantities on Hasbro Pulse. So essentially, the problem we have is that Hasbro is, because they fired so many people.
Ryan mentioned the mobile version of Pulse labeled it as exclusive.
Yeah, that adds to what I'm about to mention. I didn't know that, but that's good to know. All right, so Hasbro as a company is gigantic, and there's so many people working there. And then they fired a bunch of key people. So you start pulling links out of the chain, and the chain can't hold up anymore. Because now we're seeing that they can't even communicate properly how their stuff is being released. Because I think at one point, these 2 Rangers were exclusive to GameStop. And then they weren't exclusive to GameStop anymore, which is why they're listed for a June release. I don't think they're going to come out that late, but, who knows at this point? A G.I. Joe wave just got delayed, okay? Something's gotten delayed from Hasbro. It doesn't happen very often. I'll talk about another story that I forgot to pull up a tab for. But the problem that comes up here is that the The one it's the old adage of one hand isn't talking to the other, as in like the left hand saying, "Oh, it's exclusive to GameStop," but the right hand's like, "No, we made a deal with fan channels." And so the problem is that they've taken so many links out of their chain that now they don't even keep up with their own information. So the fact that the tweet went out, the tweet was probably pre-written, pre-scheduled even.
Mm-hmm.
But this was not a last minute change. Entertainment Earth has this. Gosh, I should have more tabs open. Entertainment Earth has a thing. If you go to Entertainment Earth, you can
But
click
it's
on
where
this
it's
button.
like, oh, like new product Tuesday, blank time, and such
Yep.
like that, right?
Drop zone. It says, Tuesday, March 21st, 6 a.m. Mattel action figures. Tuesday, March 21st, this drop is out of this universe. It's mostly Master of the Universe. Wednesday, March 22nd, Hasbro, another secret figure reveal. Well, this is the way. That's a Mandalorian-related thing. So this is kind of like what Entertainment Earth has, and on this page, they had one that alluded to Power Rangers at least a week prior. So the Big Bad Toy Store, Entertainment Earth, they knew these were coming, and yet Hasbro still tweeted GameStop because there is so few people working in these key positions to keep any of this straight. And then for us as consumers, how are we supposed to keep it straight when the company can't even do it? And that's why I'm glad we have people like Josh and, running the Lightning Fig PR account, because I was very confused waking up to this news last week. Anyways, discuss. I don't know if you guys got thoughts.
It's so baffling because it's weird because I know it's only specifically Power Rangers had this weird problem because I never saw Transformers had this.
Oh, we're going to talk about another similar issue in a minute with a different line, but continue.
But yeah, it's interesting. Like, it's one of the things where it's like, hope, like, I don't think they're gonna get in trouble by doing something like this, but it's more of like no one like kind of proofread. Like, there's no like, I know a lot of people got fired, but there was no one put like sticky notes everywhere saying like, "Hey, things change. Here's the plan now," kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. What do you think, Jerry? You got any thoughts? Okay, he's silent, so I assume he had to step away. I will say that for anyone noticing, Spin Dash, I'll talk about that in a moment. I did pre-order both Yellow Rangers because I'm not sure if they're going to get hard to get, but if they come in early and I don't have money, I'm just going to cancel them. I don't like pre-ordering Lightning Collection, as we've seen from last week's experience. Even on sale, I feel dissatisfied. But I didn't want to not order them because I'm like, all right, if they're GameStop, Entertainment Earth, Big Bad Toy Store, like whatever, I don't know what's going on, so I'm gonna just kind of wait it out. Like, I just ordered them to be sure.
I'm just getting I'm just getting SPZ SPD Yellow just to complete the team because I think that's not like the only like teams I didn't like Lightning Countries I didn't sold were SPD were my SPDs and downloaded their teams and some miscellaneous ones, and so I'm just getting Yellow just to complete the team kind of scenario because my enthusiasm for Lightning Country has fully just went.
I started to get my enthusiasm back a little bit when I got some stuff on sale, but it's completely dead right now. I don't want to spend money on Lightning Collection because I'm so disgusted by getting 6 figures in the same order that all had joint problems.
Cause when I Target the other day, I saw when I got Melhawk, I saw they have Lucitarian. And like I didn't care, even though like that's a figure I don't think looks great.
Oh, he's good if you can get the right accessory count.
Yeah, but it's like I just didn't care. I didn't want to spend the money on him. Like because like essentially like when it comes to that Target, I only had the money to because I got the Page Punchers, Aquaman, and Ocean Master the same day, so I want to save some money. Also to help those tax sales. So so like but I got Melhawk because he's like one of my favorite characters of all time. Transformers characters, and then but also I saw they have the McFarlane Mega Fig Mongol and Necron. I was like, oh man, I want to get those because I want Mongol and Necron in my collection. But so I decided to skip out for money reasons. But like me on Lucitarian is like, oh, he's here.
Yeah,
I just
you're kind of like he'll be around.
Is one of these I did not care. Like even though like that's a character I would like to get. It's like I didn't have that like, oh man, I should get him like one day. It's like nah. It's like I just moved past it. That really shows how my enthusiasm for the line has fully just dropped nose down because I can't like Into the Line really has proven itself worthy again. Like I'm not gonna care about the line.
Yeah, and
that much
a lot of people have
anymore.
been saying they've been putting them on clearance. It's because Target has a system where they'll auto put stuff on clearance, but unless the store like takes away the sale, it'll just keep the sale even if new stock comes in. So they were probably trying to clearance out like Time Force Blue and Snizzard, but ended up clearancing out Silver and Centurion.
Because they're part of the same assortment, like
same SKU number in store. Kaus, are you here?
Yeah.
Cool. Do you have any thoughts on the?
What do you think of the Lightning Collection?
Well, I still stopped collecting them until I somebody in the chat mentioned, using the budget to hire more QC testers.
Yeah. I mean, at $25 a figure,
exactly. They went up.
They went up. And we're going to talk about some more Hasbro weirdness in a minute. Actually, right now. So because I think we've talked Lightning Collection a lot. I'm almost a little bit tired of talking about Lightning Collection because of how much. Fire Fury 190, welcome to the chat. My Target is now listing LC figures at 27. I hate it here.
What?
That happens. Target can set their own prices. There is no mandate from the corporation on what the prices can be.
Oh, man,
that is such a ripoff.
Yeah, there's a lot of places. There's a lot of places selling Star Wars figures for 27 as well. Like it's out of hand. It's out of hand.
GameStop do that too. I remember GameStop was already selling Lightning for like 25 plus.
Yeah.
I always get annoyed with GameStop sells things at a higher price than it should be. It's like normal DC Multiverse $20. Here's it for $25. Like that's the price of a Build-A-Figure character.
Yep. But yeah, Target has no regulation. Each store gets to decide what the prices are. So Brian brings a good point. The new plastic from the Vietnam factory makes the figures feel oily/greasy. Yeah, and also really brittle. They have a really bad brittle feeling to them. I don't like it. All right, let's talk about another line that I'm highly anticipating because I don't even have.
Welcome to the chat, Tommy Talks.
Tommy Talks was here earlier. We'll talk about the McFarlane and Spin Master stuff for Flash maybe if we have time at the end of the show. It's not a main topic because we still got
a lot.
4 more things.
And it's time for your another episode of Soundout's Last Crusade.
Soundout's Last Crusade, Indiana Jones. So if you guys remember, I think I talked about the Indiana Jones reveals from the fan stream, right? Yeah.
Yeah. It was like the week after the fan stream. I'm pretty sure.
Way back when they had a fan stream, they said that the Professor Indiana Jones and the Walter Donovan figures would be exclusive to Walmart, and I was very sad because Walmart sucks. They're the worst. You can't get hardly anything from them. I don't like going to their stores. Their stores won't even stock stuff. So anyways, these went up on Amazon. So I don't know what happened between January and now, but Donovan and Professor Jones went from Walmart exclusive to now Amazon and Fan Channel. And that's an upgrade for me because I don't have to worry about these things now. There is still 3 Target exclusives, but you can get Professor Indiana Jones.
Amazon and where?
Amazon, Big Bad Toy Store, Entertainment Earth. I think it's a Hasbro Pulse. All the online retailers. And here's the thing. Hasbro, when they tweeted about this, they didn't tweet like it was a Walmart exclusive still. They tweeted saying available on Hasbro Pulse. Adding to that, they released a checklist for Indiana Jones, which I'm assuming happened just because big movie launch. And on this, we can see Indiana Jones Professor Walter Donovan listed at Amazon and shared fan, which means it's on Amazon and the Fan Channel stuff. Okay, I'm happy that there's no Walmart exclusive, but now I'm concerned the line's not got dropped by Walmart before it came out.
Or some deal, or some kind of deal went away or something like that.
Because exclusives, for those that aren't aware, exclusives happen because basically a toy company says, here, Amazon, we'll give you this figure exclusively. And in turn, you make sure to stock our products. It's like an agreement thing. It's like a bribe, essentially, but it's part of the business.
For example, for Velocitron, Cosmos, and Override were going to be remolds of Origin LP and Hot Rod into Walmart threw money at them to get the new molds.
So because of that, what we have here, I'm going to try to zoom this out so we can see this whole checklist. So the thing is that Walmart doesn't have any exclusives now, and now I'm kind of worried that the Indiana Jones toys won't be at Walmart, because while not having the Walmart exclusives for the Adventure series is good for me and for pretty much everybody, but yeah, I'm worried the line won't be there, and then this line will die faster than I thought it was going to die.
It's so weird with Walmart, because this create a whole conspiracy theory between you, with you going like, why Walmart's dropping all Hasbro stuff, then the Transformers.
Well, I thought they were dropping at least Transformers because of how Velocitron got like canceled and weirdly, but then now there's a whole like line of repaints that make my eyes hurt.
Yeah.
But anyways, the thing I do like about this Indiana Jones checklist, Muteki T, Hasbro Ghostbusters is technically dead, but I think that's Sony. Sony doesn't want to do anything with Ghostbusters until they release a movie.
Yeah, because that was
for
all,
some
that
reason.
was, that
they will not
never,
keep it alive between movies. They will only do stuff during movies.
Yeah, it's never meant to. I don't think Ghostbusters was meant to last longer than the movie shelf space, because it was pure tie-in.
Right. I think we'll get more plasma series when the next movie comes out, because they're starting to shoot.
They just began filming.
Yep. But anyways, back to Indy. I'm hoping there is a plan. Someone mentioned as long as we get the main cast for the first 3 movies, that's where I'm at. I would like Crystal Skull figures too, but I understand like that's unrealistic. But we could get
Shia.
Yeah, I mean, I would really like us to get at least the main characters from the first 3 movies. But the thing I like about this right here, this checklist has no lies. Everything is as it's going to be. However, there are some changes, right? So Donovan and Indy, right? They're now Amazon and Shared Fan Channel, not Walmart. The interesting part, the Retro Collection, when they announced it, the Temple of Doom Indy short round, Dr. Henry Jones Sr., of course, that's Sean Connery, Sala, and Indiana Jones The Last Crusade were all announced as Target exclusives, but now Last Crusade Indy is announced as an Amazon and Shared Fan. So they have been changing some things for availability. And I think the reason why Last Crusade Indy got moved to Amazon is because they never made Last Crusade figures in Kenner. So I think they wanted to make sure the Indy was at least available at more stores. So adding to this, we're looking at right now, they've kind of got, wave 1 of Adventures 5 figures. They got 5 exclusives, 3 Target, 3 Amazon and Fan Channel. And then the Retro Collection's got 10 as well, with 5 in the first wave. And what's interesting is they listed it as Wave 2 for the Retros, and they're doing, 4 Target exclusives and 1 Amazon, even though they're technically still a wave. But yeah, it's kind of nice to have this like chart where it says, here's the item, here's the name, here's the item number, here's the wave it's a part of, here's the availability, because it does say April 10th, which I think is sticking, because I feel like this would have come out early at this point. People have found the Retro Collection, even though they're April 10th, they've still been able to buy them. And then June 1st for the other stuff. I think the June 1st for the other stuff is to tie into the movie.
I think because I know some people got their Adventure series early.
Yeah, there's been some places getting them. I think the box probably says don't sell before April 10th, but I don't think there's any register locking happening. So I haven't gone out to Target to see if my Target's got anything, but this is interesting. Now, Muteki T says that they got the rights to Sean Connery's face. They don't technically need it for the retro one, because the retro one looks, cartoony and Kennery.
Yeah.
But Dr. Henry Jones Sr. is listed in an Adventure series product description, so we're probably getting him, and they probably cleared the rights.
Yeah, if Lego can make him, then Hasbro can make action figure of him. And I know, and even though the Lego is the similar thing with the Kenner figure, but they said that the Lego minifig still has a sort of likeness to Sean Connery still.
Right. Commodore 64, Shia is not going to be in Indy 5. That's been confirmed a while back.
They should make a mutt so you could put in with your Transformers collection.
Yeah. Someone says, I know there's some dude from Thailand selling them. Yeah, I think it was Thailand or one of the it was somewhere overseas. Like people were importing them to get them early.
When is this Indy 5 supposed to take place?
The 60s. I think it's like 1969.
Okay, so it's way after all the other ones.
Yeah, it's like 10 years after. I think, was it the 50s that Crystal Skulls or the 40s?
I keep
I think
forgetting
the
the indie
50s. It
films.
was the 50s. It's like 10 years later, basically.
I keep forgetting the indie films are like not in the time frame of like the year to come out. I keep thinking they are.
Oh no,
but,
yeah,
like,
no, like the original trilogy takes place in the 30s.
yeah, I keep
Yeah.
forgetting that. It's just I keep forgetting that because I just keep thinking it to take place in this nebulous time periods or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they take place in the 30s because Spielberg and Lucas were big movie serial fans. All right, now
Because I always thought the Nazis, when we see the Nazi film, they're just neo Nazis, but no, they're actual Nazis.
legit Nazis. Yeah, that's why I love the Indiana Jones movies because he fights Nazis as he should. And yeah, 50s for Crystal Skull is what Shig said, and yeah, so I think it's 60s for Dial of Destiny. I mean, he's still fighting Nazis because they're leading into the very true thing of Nazis never really went away. They just buried themselves. But let's talk about something crazy that happened. Absolutely freaking crazy. I got an email from Hasbro Pulse saying the price of an item went down.
It's like, what?
And it was the Retro Collection Indiana Jones. He is now $11.99. When he went up, he was $14.99. Big Bad Toy Store still has that price, so they have $15.99 because it's the Big Bad Toy Store. Like, hey, we only charge you $4 for shipping, so we're going to add $1 or $2 to the Hasbro stuff. But, on Big Bad Toy Store and other retailers, it's still $14.99. But now, Hasbro has dropped the price, at least on Pulse, to $11.99. And the rest of the Retro Collection has not gone up for pre-order. But the only downside to this is I had them on order, and they canceled all the orders at $14.99. And then I had to reorder him at the $11.99. But instead of his shipping date being April 10th, it's now April 3rd. So it's coming out early, and it's $3 cheaper. So... hell yeah.
Hasbro realized that no one wants to buy a $15 Kenner remake.
I think I know what it was. People were willing to buy a $15 Kenner remake, not multiple $15 Kenner remakes.
Yeah.
Because the indie figures, to their credit, have knee joints and action gimmicks.
Well, they also sold poorly to begin with back in the day.
Right. So the thing is he still has the action gimmick where you squeeze his legs and it moves his arm. So I mean, that's why I was like, okay, fine, $14.99, but I'm probably not going to buy the Retro Collection. I'm gonna get the rest of them now, like legit. Like I want the rest of them because the Retro Collection and the reason why they changed the price was because the Retro Collection Star Wars are $11.99. So I think that's why they changed the price, because they were like, okay, well, our Retro Collections that were $14.99 was the G.I. Joes that were the 25th anniversary ones, but all the Star Wars ones are $11.99. So I think they dropped it down to $11.99. That's the price they should be at retail, I think. I will buy them at $11.99 because that's a much better price value. And Psycho's Hasbro bought Kenner back in the 90s, so they have the rights to all this stuff because they straight up bought the company.
They own all those molds.
Yep, they own all these molds, and these aren't using the same molds. They are like recreations. They're not exact. I have because I have a vintage Kenner Star Wars Bossk here, and then I have the Retro Collection one that I had to buy a Boba Fett to get. But they're not exactly the same. The Bossk is sitting over there, so I can't grab it at the moment. But this is like the vintage one, and I compared it and I put it side by side. I'm like, that's pretty close, but it's not quite the same. So I'm happy for the price drop because now I definitely will buy the rest at this point.
Hasbro's like, well, it's actually be kind for our customers for once.
Yeah, and the email even said like the price has been adjusted to match other Hasbro products, which is basically we saw that people were complaining the indie ones were $3 more, so they dropped it. I'll take it, right? Like any price drop is good at this point. And yeah, that concludes the Indiana Jones segment of our live stream.
Your last crusade again. Santa's last crusade.
Jerry, do you have any thoughts on Hasbro dropping a price?
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, wow, they listen.
Yeah,
when it's
right.
It's not Power Rangers.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no crap. All right, we'll do that.
We need to create more like parody tales or something, like the Raiders of the Lost Indie Toys, and like
Raiders of the Lost Indie Toys is when they show a bunch of stuff that gets canceled, like every indie line ever.
The temple of QC.
Yeah, I'm curious to see if I'm hoping the QC is at least good as Star Wars QC, because Star Wars QC is good even if the figure designs suck.
Sound out the kingdom of... over that one.
The kingdom of they're not making Crystal Skull.
Yeah.
Now, I have praised Hasbro. I have...
And the last one, sound, and the dial Digivices.
The dial of Digivices. Alright, so I praised Hasbro for the price drop on indie. I like their checklist. I'm glad the indie stuff is straightened out. And I complained about Power Rangers. Now, by the way, Psycho is like, what is that Star Wars red box thing you got do? It is a droid. He does this.
But it's the droid I'm looking for.
I don't know if he's the droid you're looking for, but this is all he does. He is just a little box, and he rolls around. And makes me feel sad because of the context of the show. Brian says your next LC video should be a parody of Todd McFarlane's Spawn intros. So that's a solid idea. G.I. Joe time. So I've praised Hasbro and I've complained about Hasbro. Let's do both. All right, we got 2 new G.I. Joe figures that leaked the night before they went up. It is the Night Force Big Ben and the Range Viper. All right, so let's talk about the actual figures first. Here is the Range Viper, a brand new army builder who is based on an 80s design, who looks super duper sick and cool, and I freaking would love to buy a bunch of these because they look amazing.
I love this guy design. He looks like a DC villain, like the Brain or like Brainiac or some kind of metallic. I love his design.
He is incredible, and he comes with a ton of accessories. Love it.
We're
gonna talk about the good stuff first.
Yeah.
I like this a lot. It's great. All right.
You're getting the value worth it.
Yep.
I mean, all those accessories, shoot.
All those accessories. Then we got Night Force Big Ben. Good old man from London, Big Ben, coming with an alternate gas mask head, extra weapons, super detailed, holstered, really cool. He is Night Force colored, which is neat because that's the first Night Force color scheme we've gotten in the line. And he looks awesome.
I was impressed by how articulated G.I. Joe figures are, especially with how much pouches and stuff are on them. So it's always surprising how posable they are. Or like
they're surprisingly posable for all the stuff they're carrying. So, here, let's talk about the bad part. They are Walmart exclusive.
Oh.
Even during the Walmart part, whose idea to make army builders exclusive?
Guess what? Store? Welcome to the chat, Ultraman 52. Here's the problem. This is just Cobra Island all over again.
Again. At least it's
I thought we got better than this. Replacing Cobra Island, which had new characters and, repaints with the Tiger Force versus Python Patrol line, which is all variants, right? Like, there's Tiger Force Bazooka, we got regular Bazooka. Tiger Force Outback, we got regular Outback at retail. Now we're doing a little of both, because Big Ben being the Night Force variant means that there will be probably a regular Big Ben down the line, right? Makes sense. Mm-hmm. The Range Viper, though, that's not a variant. And yeah, so here's the thing. They sold out in seconds on Pulse. I did not wake up early for Walmart Collector Con. I did get my order in for 1 Big Ben and 2 Range Vipers at Walmart, but I don't know if they're going to stick because Walmart pre-orders notoriously get canceled a lot, and I didn't get to order right when it went up because it went up at like 6 a.m. my time, and I was not awake for that. Here's the other problem. Pulse is the only place to buy G.I. Joe Classified in the UK, so it means Big Ben, the guy from London, is like unobtainable because these also sold out in seconds on Pulse in the UK. And unlike here, where we do have the option of Walmart, there is no other option in the UK, and they sold out really fast there.
The UK, because I know they have Asta over there.
Yeah, but all G.I. Joe Classified is Pulse exclusive.
Oh yeah, it's Pulse exclusive. Yeah, because right, I forgot.
So the problem is that the UK fans are kind of screwed out unless they get more stock, because they sold out instantly. They sold out faster there than they did here.
I just can't believe they made Army Builder exclusive. Like,
you know what sucks too? Pulse had a limit of 3. Walmart had a limit of 2, and I normally get 3 of each army builder. Like the main version, I get 3. I could only get 2 Range Vipers, so that's just what I'm going to get. It's a bummer that these are going to be hard to get, because I'm just getting flashbacks to Cobra Island, whereas the Walmart line before was the retro-carded line, which were variants, which I didn't mind, and the Target line changed into all variants with Tiger Force Python Patrol. This is like, Big Ben has that, Tiger Force Python Patrol energy, but then Range Viper has that Cobra Island energy, like where the Viper was only at Target. And my Walmart doesn't even stock G.I. Joe, so if I can't get them on the website, I'm pretty much screwed. So, come October, or whenever these actually come out, they say October, I might be hitting people up if my orders tomorrow. If my orders get canceled, I'm going to be needing a Range Viper. At some point, if my orders get canceled and Big Ben's not, I'll just wait for a regular Big Ben. But I need at least one Range Viper.
I can't wait for the rundown this year for 2023. The rundown is the great Walmart wars of 2023.
I love this line. They've been doing a great job, and now they've kicked me in the balls a little bit. Not gonna lie, this was
what was the tagline for the first year's rundown for G.I. Joe? A beautiful disaster, was it?
A perfect disaster. A perfect disaster. I don't know if Nerdzoic can hook us up with Walmart exclusives. I have not explored his store enough, but I probably should check that out. Yeah, this could be potentially, like, this is just a bummer. Like, guys, this is the problem with Hasbro right now. Every line has a massive drawback. Every line. Because I thought G.I. Joe was, like, skirting through pretty unscathed for the most part. And now here we are again.
Every Toy's guy had their exclusives and excusing their frustration. Like, yep. I'm so frustrated that, hey, your Comic Shazam was a Walmart exclusive gold label for McFarlane's.
And this is the thing, is G.I. Joe had this problem in the beginning, and we got away from it, and now we're back in it, and that's what makes it frustrating.
Mm-hmm.
Right, Jerry? It's like, we already solved this problem. Why are we doing it again?
Good question.
It's just like the Quasar launcher for the Lost Galaxy Yellow Ranger.
Boy.
Right?
Yes.
We already had solved this
there.
problem, and yet here we are back again at it. And here I am ordering it again. Like, I'm not voting by my wallet here. I have ordered things, Yeah, like Luteki T mentioned, the Marvel Legends Spider-Man. That should not have been a Walmart exclusive. That thing's too popular.
That's me with the new Jax, Zelda, and Samus figures.
I cannot believe Jax was like, here, double jointed elbows, better versions of Breath in the Wild, Link and Zelda, and Metroid Prime Samus, only at Walmart.
Double jointed elbows, butterfly joints, and Samus, ankle pivot for Zelda and Link. It's like,
yep. No, only at Walmart though, because screw everybody that has bad Walmarts, aka most Walmarts.
Walmarts.
I mean, the one near me, all it has are Funkos every time I go there.
The Transformers sections at my Walmart are disaster zones.
Yep.
Spin Dash brings up a good point. Have we not gotten a Figma Breath of the Wild Link?
Yeah, honestly, I'm surprised. Those are the Tears of Kingdom. Yeah.
Did they make Nendoroids recently?
Yeah, they did Nendoroids. Wild.
Yeah, but they haven't done a Figma. Yeah. So, anyways, I don't know. Do we have any other Hasbro talk? Like, I'm ready to move on to another company that also causes problems.
Quick thoughts on the Marvel Legends stuff. I guess just very quick thoughts.
Let's talk about Marvel Legends next week because I think they're going to reveal more stuff this week.
Okay.
I have the Entertainment Earth page is making me think they're going to put up the Spider-Verse Marvel Legends this week.
I think that's the theory. I think I've seen people throwing around. Yeah.
Kamen JoJo, the 2019 Jetfire the Siege one. That one's fantastic. I love it.
No, yeah, I get that. It's a really great figure.
Let's move on from a company that likes to screw me over a lot to a company that likes to screw me over a lot, but somehow I feel better about it. Bandai, the Super Complete Selection Animation D-Arc Ultimate.
Yeah, with Bandai, it's usually the money, not like them kick you in the balls.
I don't. Yeah, Bandai doesn't usually kick me in the balls so hard as much as just like beats me up and takes my lunch money. Fire Fury brings a good point. Why did it take until 3 Xenoblades to get a Xenoblade Figma? I mean,
know, right?
Let's talk about the
frustrates me
fact
so
Fire
much.
Emblem only has Lucina and Corrin as the only Figmas.
That frustrates me so much. It's like, for God's sakes, you have so much potential for care. They will sell. Why won't you make the license deal? Because I'm not sure how it works with the second party stuff, like with Microsoft and Intelligence Systems.
Right.
So, because I don't think Nintendo has control of their merchandise. But so it's like, how come they don't realize that people buy merch of Xenoblade and Fire Emblem? God damn
Exactly.
it.
Moving back on, because this is why my money is not going towards a Shin Nego figure art right now.
Welcome to chat, Deca Striker.
Psycho is, yes, the Dragon Knight Figma is the most complete Figma line. Okay, so they
No, it's not.
they made an
Wheels,
Edelgard.
welcome.
They made Edelgard a Figma.
I
didn't know that.
Yeah, they did.
It was 99.9% done.
Yeah, because
remember,
they
didn't make the survive forms.
Also,
wait, no, they have less than 99% because it would be even less than that because they said they were making Zodiacs and they never did it.
I was gonna say
Zodiacs and the 2 survive forms.
No, it's
Zodiacs
still the most
form.
complete Figma line because every other Figma line is missing like 5 to 6 figures.
True.
Persona, because I think Persona 4, they only did like 3 Persona 4s, I think 1 Persona 3, and did he complete the Persona 5 game?
They haven't.
They did
Because
they have not done.
They did the
the
base game ones, but they got Violet, but they haven't done Strikers.
Strikers, they're missing
My favorite was when D-Arts was when you needed D-Arts, Figuarts, and Figma just to try to complete one Persona game. I don't
Persona
know
4, because you could get Elizabeth and Thanatos as D-Arts, and then you could get the Personas as D-Arts, and then the Figmas for the humans. But they didn't make Chie's Persona, but they made Yosuke's Persona, but then there was no Yosuke Figma, and there was a Chie Figma.
That sounds confusing and needlessly complicated.
Yep.
So yeah, Dragon Knight still has the most complete Figma line. Because I mean, they've done Ghost in the Shell like 3 times now. They've done 3 Motokos and only 1 Bato, and never a Togusa.
Hell, even Big O wasn't that complete. They just did the main 2 characters.
To get into what my YouTube channel is famous for, they're Fate figures. They don't have that either.
They have like Medusa. They only did, but they have Saber, Archer, Lancer, Rider. They still haven't done Caster.
Medusa,
they haven't done Caster yet, right?
Yeah, and they haven't done a lot of the other secondary like main cast members. Like I know there's a lot of characters in there, but they mostly focus on like I think Saber clones, and Medusa at the moment. I mean, there's a few other characters.
Like very popular Fate character.
I'm going to move us back over to Digimon because we did start a segment, and now we're on a tangent. And I don't know Fate, so I'm just kind of sitting here going.
Well, when I see Figmas, I'm like, well, yeah. I'm like, oh, welcome to my world. Like,
I have technically done a Fate video simply because of Jerry doing a Fate video and I being on it.
Yeah, I was like, son, I want to be here. You're like, all right.
Super complete selection animation D-Arc Ultimate. It has got for pre-order in Japan. There is no US page yet. I am waiting for the US page because I think it'll be cheaper. I could wait to see if it'll stock because let's go over to PBanda US right now. If you are able to use PBanda US, there is a in-stock Digimon section where they've got Vital Bracelets you shouldn't buy, namely the first models. Some of the Digimon minifigures, you can get the first 3 complete selection animation D-Arcs. So yeah, I mean, there's stuff there. I'm not going to wait because I am like a Digivice nut job. So I'm just waiting for the P-Banda US pre-order. But I'm sitting here like, this thing's cool. So they, for some reason, even though Takato's Digivice was just the regular red one, it still had Gallantmon in it. So they're promoting this one with Gallantmon Crimson mode. This comes with, the D-Arc, the upgraded one that he got when Gallantmon was first debuted. It comes with 12 cards. 10 of them are new, 2 of them are repeats. The only repeats are the blue card for the Ultimate and the Evolution Plugin S for the Champion. And then going to all the new cards, we got the red card, we got like Andromon, the 3 like chest piece cards, some of the other power-ups that we didn't have before. and all of those cards will work in the previous D-Arcs. Specifically, the red card will have a special sound. I don't know if you have to scan it through all of them, like all 3 of the devices, to get a special sound. It may just have a special sound in each of them. But it is really cool. So I like that the card lineup is different. Adding to that, it's pretty much the same as what we got before. However, they have added more voices. Instead of just Takato and Guilmon and Kulumon, you now get Terriermon, you get Henry and Rika, because I'm flip-flopping names. Renamon, Terriermon are in there for special sequences. There is also sounds for Impmon, Beelzemon Blast Mode, and Grani. So it's just packed.
Because they're not making a separate Beelzemon.
Yeah, they're not making a separate Beelzemon one. Adding to that,
that purple one. There's nothing really in there. Beelzemon doesn't really have many sounds outside of Impmon quotes, Beelzemon quotes, and Killing Leomon quotes.
And Killing Leomon is in this. So
yes, perfect.
It's perfect. So the cards, of course, the cards work in this one. The cards work in the old ones. The old cards work in this one. It's all compatible, which is great. It's the reason why I'm going to have all of these is because of the cards. I may have picked and choosed if it wasn't for the cards. So good on Bandai for figuring out how to get me to buy all 4 of these. But in terms of the evolutions, we of course have the normal ones of Growlmon and Megalogrowlmon. And then we have Gallantmon Crimson Mode. I'm mixing up names again. I apologize. The cards are plastic. They are a thick plastic. But we also get Megidramon. Now, the Megidramon is a special variation we'll go over in a moment. There also is the Digimon tracker thing, but instead of having 12 Digimon, now it has 25. So it does seem like a lot of the development costs went into the first ones, and this one, which isn't that much more expensive, I think it's like I think it's like 1,000 yen more. This one has more stuff, basically, added to it.
So I have a question, because, this has all of the necessary, the Beelzemon stuff and the Gallantmon, Crimson Mode. Do you think they're going to make one more specifically for all the extra kids, like Rio, Jerry, Kenta, and Kazu? Just one more to have, like, all their Digimon sounds and such? Maybe,
but I don't know if the demand is there. Because I feel like they should have just shoved them in here, but this thing's pretty packed. They could do one. The thought process, they could do one with swappable parts.
I can see them doing most Rio's Digivice, since he was kind of an extra.
They could do Rio's. The problem we run into is there is no animations for the Digivolutions for any of them. And so even though Rio has, like, Monodramon to Cyberdramon to Justamon, there's no animation sequences shown for it. So there's nothing to put into the animation part of the Digivice. So they'd have to sell it at a lower price because there wouldn't be any animations. They'd have to make
make them up.
They could. Yes, there was Super Complete Section Animations D3 teased. I think they're waiting until the movie comes out to put those up.
Yeah, that's gonna be a tie-in.
This is kind of a stopgap because we don't know when the movie's coming out. There was a Mon memo about this that shows that you do get the, Crimson Mode evolution is going to just, like, focus on parts of Gallantmon. The Megidramon evolution is going to be a fully featured thing that features the screen cracking and the device becoming unusable. And the only way to get the device to work again is to go through all 13 lines of Takato and his struggle with Megidramon. And that's kind of amazing. And then basically they had it on display at the Narakiri World Expo where you could go test it out. I'm excited for this. It's I believe it's 15,400 yen, which is
This is after coming out the D scanner. This is coming after the D scanners.
After the D scanners. This is the same price as the D scanners. Psycho's a couple of the kids used cards. I think just 2 of them actually had card slash sequences. But yeah, it
from what I remember.
Yeah, I just finished watching Chambers in Japanese. I think it was only Jury and Xiao-chan used cards.
I thought Kenta and Kazu did one.
I think that they each had 1 card each, but they didn't have a special card slash sequence.
Yeah, I think it was just them just swiping the card in like real time animation.
There are more cards they can make, that's for sure.
Well, it's not like they were actual characters. Those other characters.
Well, yeah, but they were they did the side tamers, but still, like, they did have those moments.
I do really think the show.
This does ship in October, by the way. That's when it comes out. Or November if you're getting the U.S. release. That'll
I was
probably
gonna say
happen.
the show did drop the ball on having those side characters. That's for sure.
I mean, the main focus was always going to be the main trio.
It is the main trio, and then there's these other people here. I know Psychos is still watching Tamer, so I'm not going to get too deep into the discussion. Let him discover it.
Gotta speed up, man. It's been 20-something years.
I have finished watching Tamers a second time, and now I've watched it in English twice and in Japanese once, and he still hasn't finished it once.
I think you really do mind big Digimon.
Was Digimon just like excluded from the UK? Was it just
he never watched it until he only started watching it recently.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I was gonna say, was it just like not on?
From what I've seen, it looks like Digimon didn't full because I'm not sure Fox Kids was a big thing.
Apparently, Frontier never made it to the UK, but the first 3 seasons did.
Yeah, a lot of people said that even in Europe.
The reason why With the Will even exists is because With the Will is a reference to the Frontier insert song. That's when the Japanese, because people start looking for fan subs, because most of the world didn't get Frontier.
Because I know, because I think Data Squad was pretty well, because that was pure, because I know JX is big in the UK.
Yeah.
And so I think Data Squad is right the
Data
most.
Squad aired, but like Frontier didn't, and so most people know the Japanese outside of the US. But going back to the Megidramon thing, you apparently can't reset it unless you just like turn it off. Like you have to go.
You take the batteries out.
You had to turn it off because there's a power switch. You had to turn it off, but like it is supposed to recreate it. Now I will say my one slight nitpick is that I would have liked instead of having Gallantmon in the red one, put the Megidramon in instead, just to be a little bit more accurate. But I know that would have hurt the sales of the red one. So from a business perspective, I get it.
It's one of those things. It's one of those things where they just throw it in as a bonus, then try to be like accurate.
Yeah. Psycho says Wheels. Basically, I never watched Digimon because I didn't have Jetix and just didn't get into it. My Digimon was Bakugan. During 2020, I watched 01, 02, and Try and have adult opinions on it.
You watched Try?
I told him not to watch Try.
Oh no, I'm not even scared about Psycho O's watching Try. I'm scared about him just watching Bakugan. Oh my god, I'm so sorry for you.
Well, welcome to the chat, Jamie's World. These might get a UK release because I know Bandai Shop UK has been expanding a lot, and I believe they got one of the previous Super Complete Selection animations. So keep an eye out. I'm gonna keep checking P Bandai because I want to order this. I want to see if P Bandai US is going to be the less expensive option.
Speaking of Bakugan, ask Psycho O's to DM me about our friend who had a really hilarious podcast about Bakugan back in the day, so he can hear the story of the Van Damme-ing.
So
that's a too long of a story for right now.
No. So if Psycho O's did hear me, just DM me and I'll tell you the great story about the Van Damme-ing. It's a great story. You need to hear about.
But Teki T said, Digimon Try Dragon Ball GT. Digimon, no, because Digimon Try is soul crushing. GT is like
GT is bad, but fun, and Try is bad but not
miserable.
Fun. Yeah, it's miserable.
When GT is like, it's up to you. You personally like her or not. It just even depends if you like a lot of the new concepts and stuff. Try is miserable.
Yep.
Try just takes everything you love about Digimon Adventure, and it's just like, let me just take a knife and like stab it into your throat slowly. Let's make it as gruesome as possible. Like have you ever seen the guy like cut his own throat?
Don't get too gruesome because YouTube will stop me. So I'm gonna cut you off there.
Because
I'm hearing you and I'm just gonna cut you off there.
I was gonna say, if you've ever seen John Carpenter's Prince of Darkness and you've seen what the guy did, yeah, that's like what Try was.
Yep. And the thing is that because Psycho didn't find Try that bad, and I think it's because he didn't have the years. Unless you have the years with Digimon, Try doesn't hurt as bad. That's for sure.
If you're a longtime fan, it's gonna sting because they literally they disrespect a lot, and if you do, and if you're not a fan of 02, you're completely fine with it because a lot of people are like, this is their story. This isn't 02 story, but it doesn't need to disrespect the 02.
And that's the thing. That's why I like Kizuna, because Kizuna is like, here's what we're trying to do with. It was like Kizuna felt like this is what we were trying to do with Try, of like making a more adult Digimon story, but they managed to keep They managed to
welcome
keep
to
that
chat,
same
Mass
kind of
Effect fan.
idea going around, and then they kept the 02 kids instead of just throwing them into a void.
They also
Yeah, where
don't
they're like
drop.
they're dead and no one cares about them.
They also they don't drop plot points in Kizuna from what I've seen.
Yeah. Welcome to the chat, Mass Effect fan 2007. Yeah, the funny part about Digimon is everything's canon, even if nothing fits continuity-wise. Like, Hurricane Touchdown and Try are, like, the two biggest anomalies, I think. But because of Kizuna, it makes both canon, for sure.
I never Hurricane Touchdown. I never, like...
Oh, it doesn't fit. It doesn't fit. Because the thing is, if you look at...
Touchdown can't fit.
The English dub works better, because they cut a bunch of stuff out of that movie. But the Japanese actual timeline, there is no place for that movie to exist.
Mm-hmm.
Because of where the characters are at the beginning of the movie and at the end, there is no placement in the episode order that makes sense unless you go to it happened after they defeated the Digimon Emperor.
I guess it is always the same.
But that doesn't work because Magnamon is referenced as having happened already.
But that's what I mean. That's why I always thought it was fully canon because of Magnamon.
Yeah, but the thing is the dub added a reference to the movie, because in the English dub of the 02 movie portion of the movie, everybody remembers the time we got turned into kids part, but in the Japanese version they don't. So
this is one of those great.
They
things
don't.
About
so
the
show
dub.
doesn't reference Magnamon showing up anywhere else in the Japanese version, but in English dub it does, and the English dub mentions Willis a few more times.
That's
to, like,
the
try to
good thing
tie it
about
together.
the dub. The dub actually worked hard to put a non-canon movie that was like an OVA in Japan into the continuity. On top of that, they just try to like rewrite the show so it makes a lot more better sense. Because when you watch sub versus dub, there are elements of the show that are really good dubbed versus sub. Because a lot of the earlier subs that were released when Saban released the show illegally subbed, the subs were wrong, and it made the kids more intolerable and not friends. Whereas the newer subs by Discotek, they still are kind of little jerks to each other, but they're at least a little bit nicer than the original interpretations showed when we had those releases.
And that comes from like the fan subs going for a more literal translation as opposed to an actual translation to make the context work.
Yeah,
which is why I don't like literal translations, because it makes everybody feel stiff and weird.
The old ones made the kids very, very antagonistic towards each other. They were very antisocial.
You remember all the old? I know this is all topic, but you remember all the old Sentai fan subs where they tried to make the show more edgier by making the Rangers curse a lot of times.
That's how I saw stuff from Gal Ranger the first time.
Wheels could tell you about the time I told him about those edgy fan subs for Dragon Ball movies.
Oh yeah, those are
speaking of Dragon Ball movies. Shiggs says movies that can't happen with the show's timeline. The 13 DBZ movies, the only ones that actually I think fit are like BoJack and Dead Zone.
So
those you can fit no problem. The other ones you have to like.
The other one
has something wrong with Wrath of the Dragon is like right after Buu Saga, so that one I can say.
Yeah, any one of them that could take place in a time skip, that's fine.
I always say Revenge of Cooler, the first Cooler movies semi-canon because that could easily take place between the Trunks coming back from the future, like before the android, because it was a 2 year gap before the androids invaded. So I always say
that could happen at that point.
At least the first Cooler movie, the second one that's a big. What's our next topic?
I was gonna wrap it up. The Dragon Ball movies and the Digimon movies have the same exact problem, which is that any of the movies that were made during the show's run were made by a different production team than the actual show. So the movies were just all on, the movies were all like, produced separately. So like there was a guy doing the Dragon Ball movies while they were making the show. And so they didn't talk and they weren't trying to get things into timeline. I did forget about Dead Zone doesn't work because,
they wouldn't known Gohan.
they shouldn't have, nobody should have met Gohan.
But that arc is semi-canon because some dialogue is super.
Right.
But Garlic Jr.
can't happen either.
The Garlic Jr. saga later on doesn't work either. Yeah,
that whole saga doesn't work. Yeah.
Yeah. I think the dub tried to patch that up. Actually, I think the Funimation dub made the characters go, "Oh, it's nice to see you again, Gohan." But this is the thing is going back to that. they pumped out these movies, and the reason why these movies are short is because they were always bundled with 3 different movies.
Yeah, it was kind of like an anthology. You get a Dragon Ball movie, then a Sentai movie, and then
the Toei Hero Festival or the Manga Festival. So you get like those Digimon movies and the Dragon Ball movies were event timed, not show timed.
Psycho O's asked, "Is Hey Digimon, is that battle music?
No.
Yes or no?"
They kept trying to make it the replacement for Braveheart, and it doesn't work.
Well, you're like, "Hey Digimon."
I love the song, but it doesn't work as a Braveheart replacement.
Girls.
It doesn't make a Braveheart replacement.
It really doesn't.
But let me finish the point
power
here.
Though, yes.
Let me finish the point here. Was that the Dragon Ball movies and the Digimon movies, they had to come out at a certain point. So, for example, Revenge of Diaboromon and Runaway Locomon are seen as epilogues to 02 and Frontier, but they came out before those shows ended.
Yeah, but they just happened to like fit in after the show.
Right. Runaway Locomon was not intended to fit. Like, it was actually just done with, hey, here's all the Digimon we have available at the time, and they knew that Crimson Mode was coming, so they put it in the movie as an early reveal.
Does that mean Beelzemon's
Beelzemon Blast Mode's in there too, yeah.
Well, because plus it's redemption, because
Beelzemon Blast Mode was in the opening from the first episode, so they had that planned a long time ago.
Well, was it because Beelzemon was a good ally in that movie, so I guess that must have...
They had the show planned out. Because they weren't adapting a long-running manga, they could plan out the Digimon movies a bit better. So Runaway Locomon fits because they knew what their ending was. Revenge of Diaboromon fits because they knew what their ending was. But they did come out early, which makes them kind of funny.
I'm trying to, like the front. I guess the Frontier movies you can just place anytime when there's adventuring.
I think people figured out you can just line it up. You can line it up based on the evolutions in the movie.
Saber, I have no idea what a Saber movie.
The Saber movie doesn't work. It does not work whatsoever because Shine Greymon debuts in that movie, and they make it as like, did the stream crash? I saw a chat.
She's going. She's going.
Okay, may have just been Psycho then. The Sabers movie debuts Shine Greymon as a giant kaiju-sized Digimon, and he is smaller when he debuts in the show. So, it doesn't work. It doesn't work whatsoever, and it's just something that that is the only non-canon Digimon movie. All the others can fit or get shoved in some way. Where does
the first Tamer movie fits in?
That fits in after episode 18, once they have all their ultimates. Because that movie features Takato's cousin. I think it's his cousin. And that cousin shows up later.
Okay.
So he's in the ending arc. Everyone's talking to their friends and family before the final battle. And Takato's I'm going to go talk to my cousin. And I'm like, oh, hey, movie reference. As a kid, I was I don't know who this guy is. But yeah, so I think that it's just really it's really inconsistent. The Hurricane Touchdown is the biggest point where it's still canon but doesn't fit really well.
You really need to wrench it to fully fit into somewhere in the continuity.
And people have flip-flopped as oh, do you put it after the Raidramon debut because or you got to wait till all 6 Digi-Eggs are in play even though they don't use Sabarimon or Shurimon in the movie, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's just it's complicated.
Is Triso canon in Kizuna? I still need to watch Kizuna.
Because Mako shows up.
Right,
Guys,
okay.
Can Hurricane Touchdown be right when Ken decided to go into the digital world after they got rid, or did they still keep fighting him? I remember there was this weird gap. You know what? I'm screwed. I'm just gonna go rewatch.
Because it technically should take place before Magnamon, after they get Raidramon.
It should take place after Raidramon, but did he?
But you have to find a point in time where 2 of them can go to America.
Yeah.
2 of them travel. That's the problem.
Because it has to be during the summertime.
It has to be the summertime because they're on vacation, and TK and Kari are in America to visit Mimi, even though Mimi's not in the dub. They go to visit. By the way, this is the funny part. If you know the Japanese version of the movie, where the previous Adventure Kids are a main part of the plot, and then you're watching the dub, it's really funny because, for example, there's this scene where TK and Kari are taking a picture on a bridge in New York.
And there's a laptop,
And then the laptop falls for some reason, even though
that's easy. That's easy. Izzy taking the picture, right?
Well, no, it's Mimi. Mimi was taking the picture, and then she disappears, and her laptop falls, and they're like, "Oh, that was weird." Like they didn't mention that they were visiting Mimi, because of that. So yeah, it's a bit of a mess to place that movie. And like the English dub clears up a lot of the continuity stuff, but it's hard to pace the English dub of the movie too.
There's a reason why when people talk about the Digimon movie, the Hurricane Touchdown moment is the people least remembered because it honestly, because I'm not sure it would work better if they made that Hurricane Touchdown the second quote unquote part of the film and leave out working last.
From what what Jeff Nimoy said was that like he knew Revenge of Diaboromon was coming, but they said we can't do that because we're not that far in the dub yet, so we would spoil a lot of events that happen in
like Pai Ultraman and Imperial Ultraman.
And he was like, well, then let's hold off on the movie. And Saban was like, no, we got to do this movie. Pokemon
they wanted the movie out in the summertime, and if they had waited for Revenge of Diaboromon, they would have put it out in winter, and they didn't. They wanted a summer release.
That bad, huh?
And Saban really wanted to fight because at that point, Pokemon.
It was not just Saban, but also Fox.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They really wanted to combat Warner Brothers and with the Pokemon movies.
Right, because Digimon the movie came out
2001. I think that was
2000.
After...
It was October 6th, so it actually wasn't a summer movie. It was a fall movie.
Because I think it was after the third Pokemon movie. I'm pretty sure.
No, the third Pokemon movie was a little bit later, if I recall.
Well, you know, because second one has to be second one's 2000 because it's literally main Pokemon 2000.
Yeah.
Pokemon. Well, okay, that's the Japanese release. When's the
Hold on, I got it. Hold on.
July 21st, 2000.
Was it for movie 3?
For movie 2.
Movie 2, okay.
The first Pokemon movie came out November 12th, 1999. Pokemon 2 came out July 21st, 2000. So they probably wanted a summer release, but got pushed to fall to avoid Pokemon.
3 was released in 2001. I thought the Digimon movie came between that. Then
October 2000. October 2000 was the Digimon movie.
Yeah, because guys, this is how this is the funny part. The release date for Pokemon the third movie says it was released in March 29th, 2001, but that's actually its premiere in American soil. But it was actually released on my birthday because I remember my birthday was a Friday in that year, and so the next day when it was technically Metal's birthday. That Saturday, I went to go watch the third movie, The Mystery of the Unknown.
Because it always weird. Because I always need to remind myself, Digimon's release dates are a lot earlier than I keep thinking they are.
Yeah.
I keep thinking Frontier was 2004. Was 2004, 2005? No, it's 2000. It was 2002.
2002.
Yeah, because this is what happened, right? Frontier, most people missed its 2002 release because it was mostly on just UPN 9. And then it just magically shows up on ABC Family and Jetix
because of the Saban purchase.
Yeah.
I had one more topic for the day. I'm just gonna transition us here. Toy Book put out this article. State of the U.S. toy industry demonstrates resilience despite growing challenges. The thing I wanted to point out here was that the toy industry as a whole only went down 0.2% in 2022.
Really? I thought it was a bigger hit because I keep hearing about
whole industry, right? Because Mattel lost a ton of money, Hasbro lost a lot of money, but the industry didn't. It definitely was down, and that's not good that it was down, but it was only down a little bit. So it's kind of interesting. But the thing I found fascinating was the drivers of the change in value per category. So plush toys were up 31%. Explorative and other toys were up 16%. Building sets was up 8%. Action figures was a 4% increase. Arts and crafts was flat. Games and puzzles was flat. Vehicles declined. Youth electronics saw an 11% decline. Infant, toddler, and preschool declined by 2%. Dolls were down 12%. Outdoor sports toys saw an 11% decline. So I don't really know. I don't have any major thoughts on this. I just thought this was interesting to see what categories went up and went down, depending on how the year went. But action figures did go up a little bit, where they had been down for a while.
Interesting, because hearing all these sales numbers, so it's weird to hear that it didn't went down that much. It's
And so this is interesting too. So in plush, they they attributed to Squishmallows, Magic Mixes, and Pokemon as the main drivers of growth. Explorative and other toys included NFL, Disney, All Other, and NBA had largest growth. The action figures was mainly driven by Jurassic Park / World, Funko Pop, and Sonic the Hedgehog. So the Sonic movie toys sold well, I guess. It wasn't poor distribution. They apparently sold so well to be listed third after Jurassic and Funko.
I had a feeling that had to be the case. The case was like, my God, like Jax, come on, pump out more, please.
Mm-hmm. Games and puzzles, mainly driven by decline, was down. Games and puzzles was flat because it was mainly driven by declines in Magic and Monopoly, both Hasbro brands. Pokemon was the largest gaining property in games and puzzles, and the number one property for the toy total industry.
Not surprised because it's Pokemon.
Yep, Pokemon is kind of supporting up the industry, but that's all I got news-wise.
Jazzwares has a lot of money.
Yep. So yeah, I mean, hoping Mario helps sales too. Apparently Mario toys are on sale at Target this week, so if you want to get them cheaper than retail, go for it.
And have them track you down creepily with their glass eyes.
Yeah. We have the Princess Peach and the Bowser, and I think the Bowser's really cool.
The Bowser's great.
Bowser's great. Peach has got glassy eyes. It's crazy.
Those toys are great, but man, they scare me. It's like
they're incredibly detailed.
Every time I move, their eyes look at me. It's like, ooh.
And I know how I feel looking at statues.
Yeah. When something's too detailed. Spin Dash, how does that smoke thing for Bowser work as a toy? Basically,
water vapor.
It's water vapor, yeah. So it gives you a little dropper that you fill up with water, and then you just drop like little drops of water into this little pad, and then it just like it vapors it out of the mouth. So it's pretty cool.
Do you want to do just a quick roundup on the Flash stuff, the Flash toys?
I'd have to pull up pictures, and I don't have enough time. I'd rather just do it. Flash toys look great, but like in the sense that there's a lot of cool Batman stuff.
Yeah, it's mostly a Batman line.
It's mostly a Batman line. Yeah, I mean,
quick thoughts on all the new master stuff revealed today.
I'm gonna buy some of it. I don't.
The
problem. There was a bunch of Master of the Universe stuff revealed today. And Mattel's not going to reveal how they're being released until tomorrow, and I'm afraid that everything I want's going to be an exclusive.
Because that is a lot, honestly, for a line that people are saying is dying. That Mattel revealed a lot.
What I'm worried about is Mattel's like, look at all these Master of the Universe figures, and then there's going to be like 5 from each line that's retail, and then the rest are exclusive. Because we already know the Mossman that's in that listing is a Walmart because they showed it before. So,
honestly, a lot of the Masterverse stuff it looks really great. Like the Ram Man, the Clawful, and the Whiplash. Some of my favorite.
I'm just not getting excited until I see how they're being released. Honestly, I'll pull up that. Let me pull up the. I can pull up the graphic of like
the slush head figure. It's honestly impressive.
It is. I love Masterverse, and I'd like to keep buying it, but I've had to cut back toy line collecting just in general. Because it's too much stuff.
Too much.
Let's see if I can switch on my screen. So yeah, they put out this this graphic. They're like, here, it's a checklist of Master of the Universe fall releases. These are all fall releases. Ton of Origins. I'm surprised there's still no Cyclone. Where the hell is Cyclone? Flocked Mossman is Walmart, and I don't know how the rest of it's getting released. I might get the Talon
tomorrow.
I might get Point Dread because I have Castle Grayskull. Masterverse down here is just.
I like the Skellyman 2-pack.
Me too. So look at like Masterverse. I love Masterverse. I probably get. I want Web Store, Ram Man, Clawful, Whiplash, Slushhead, Clamp Champ, Buzz Off, Grizzlor, and the others are cool too. I bought a 2-Bad because 2-Bad was on sale at Target.
I might get the Adam figure because it actually looks really nice.
He does look nice. And Brian, they signed all those Flash deals long before Ezra Miller decided to be a chaotic piece of crap.
I mean, because all these toys were probably meant to come out last year.
They were,
Probably.
yeah, the movie was supposed to come out 2 years ago. It's been delayed so much. The toy deals were made long before Ezra went on a criminal spree. Crime spree, not a criminal spree. I gotta use my right grammar. Muteki T does. I saw Muteki T ask this earlier, but the Zap Astro Megazord, based on current reviews, the clip thing.
Why does it break? Why does a $100 toy break so easily?
$160 toy.
Oh, sorry.
The clip thing is funny because essentially the clips on the arms, like pulling the arms down, causes the clip to stress, which is just bad plastic tolerance. It reminds me how there was that one tab on Kingdom Cheetor that broke on everybody. Like everybody had this tab that would break.
Kingdom Cheetor?
Yes, it's this little tab that's in the back of his neck and his head. It does nothing because everything else supports the head. It's a useless tab, but it would break because there's not enough clearance on it. And it also reminds me of like early copies of the grapple mold was too tight on the foot pegs, and you pull the foot, you could end up pulling the whole peg out. I hadn't had that happen to me until I transformed him for the rundown.
So there's a tab on Kingdom Cheetor's cheetah head or his robot head?
On his cheetah head. If you pull his cheetah head down, there's like a little tab sticking out of his neck.
Oh, let me see, because I didn't even know about this.
Yeah, there was a lot of people discussing. It's like essentially, it's inevitable you'll break it because it's completely a superfluous tab.
Oh, yep, mine broke.
Yeah, no, you don't even realize it's there.
Yeah.
It reminds me of that, but the problem is I haven't been able to confirm anybody that had theirs break if the arms will still hold in ship mode. Like if those tabs are broken, do the arms still hold up? Are those tabs just like a superfluous, like, let's just add some stability? Or when you pick up your Astro Megazord with the clip's broken, the arms just dangle?
They just say, because like you put it down, like no problem, because you put it down, the arms are down.
But like if you pick it up, do the arms dangle if those clips are busted? Because if they're superfluous clips, then
like it's still a bad design, but
it's still a bad design. But if they're superfluous and they're just there for extra stability, then it's fine. It's not great, but like if it's the only connection to hold the arms up, that's a problem. Sanding the tab on Cheetor, the tab on Cheetor, like sanding it doesn't do it. It's a tab that's in the way and it doesn't do anything. So if it breaks, you won't even notice.
I didn't know. I had this figure for like 3 years now. I didn't know there's a tab.
For the Megazord, I don't really know how to prevent from stressing it because it's packed in Mega Ship mode. So you can't check the clips until you unbuckle the clip.
I'm trying to think. Is that clip gonna be necessary if they ever make a Delta Zap Megazord?
No.
Because that's inside the leg, right?
Because it's inside the leg, and the leg covers Delta go over it.
Yeah, over it. So okay, so at least even if it does break, it's not gonna be too like
disastrous. The only thing is I'm trying to figure out what it is it's likely stressing because the actual part that's on the arm that clips into the clip, because the clip is what's breaking, is probably too thick, and so it's pushing more pressure on that clip.
Yeah.
I don't know if Tigatron has that tab, to be honest.
For me, when it comes to Dash, I still can't go over how big. Like
it's huge.
I get it, even if it's supposed to be that big, it's so weird to me to see Megazord that huge.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't know, because it always just weirds you out to seeing a Megazord that big. It's like it kind of feels like it shouldn't be this big.
Yeah, it's fine because I think it looks cool, and if you're going to be remaking Megazords, why not make them bigger and better?
But it's more of like shell space.
Yeah. God, the Astro Delta is going to be huge. It was made in Vietnam because that's where all the robot stuff for Hasbro gets made. Yeah.
Yeah, I just find it funny that like Hasbro's so focused on making them scale accurate, but like to the fact of dudes in suits, they can't be that big.
Right. Their scale numbers are a little off.
Unless the suit actor is Andre the Giant.
I was gonna say, yeah. So like Psycho was bringing up the Delta legs, but yeah, because the Delta clips into the arm clips. So if the arm clips are having trouble, that would be something to be worried about. If it's just because from what I've seen, it's the clips inside the legs that clip the arms to the bottom of the Mega Ship. Also, the Mega Ship is really chunky. It's funny. He's a thick boy. He's not because like the original model was the original toy, and it was a lot more thinned out.
You know, every time you see the Zap Astro Megazord, you know what it reminds me of? You remember those like weird Bandai Jumbo Zord
yes,
toys?
they made a Jumbo Astro Megazord that transformed.
Yeah, I don't know why. Maybe because of the size or the colors, but it reminds me of that a lot.
Also, for things to keep an eye on, somebody I saw got their 5 Rangers were in the 5 different colors, but it was all the female mold.
Whoops!
So if you get it, check your Rangers. Apparently that happened with the Megazord and the Dragozord as well. It's like you get the long
that was
color.
a big that was a common QC.
Yeah.
On the
So that's still a thing. I'm gonna wait to see how more things shake out, and by more things shake out, I mean I'm gonna buy if I'm gonna get the Astro, I'm gonna get it on sale.
Yeah, no, I don't want to buy that.
I don't really want to buy it.
Zap Astro Megazord definitely does look like a good toy, but it's like I can't convince myself to pay $160 on it.
I'm not gonna buy it at full price. I'm gonna wait for a sale because if it didn't have this clip issue, I might buy it at full price. But also knowing that it's probably gonna go on sale. And the thing is, for me, if it goes on sale and it sells out everywhere instantly and I miss it, I'm not gonna be that broken up about it. I have a deluxe one.
I think for me, it's always I can't justify myself because I think of like the upcoming Commander Optimus.
I mean, this thing costs the same as an old Titan class price.
Yeah, and like I don't know, I just even with comparing to Titans, it doesn't have the same
feel. It doesn't, and it's I don't know, it's weird. But the thing is that I think if I was gonna get the Astro, I would get it on sale. A Delta would make me want it more. I tell you, if they announce a Delta.
Yeah, like it's like one of those things that if they announce Delta, then you're getting like a complete package. Then like
also because it would be nice to see a Delta that has articulation.
And not a brick.
Yep.
Because didn't even the mini plot was a brick because of the design.
Mini plot's not my department.
Wheels. How was the Delta mini plot? Okay then, thanks you for your answer.
Really detailed.
The mini plot. So the mini plot's pretty decent. It's all right.
How did it handle the possibility or the Delta?
I think the Delta and the mini plot was really good. I think my biggest issue with the figure, and I've heard from people, is that the joint for the hip of the Astro Mega Ship is sort of weak. So some people have broken that. But overall, I think it's really good. The combination mode isn't the best. I mean, I technically made the joints tighter by actually giving it a light coat of metallic paint over all the parts to make it look like the suit. So it holds really well, but it also makes it seem like I'm gonna break it now because I gave it that.
It's like, oh god.
I improved it and also possibly made it worse. I don't know.
You're getting like mini plug Gal King flashbacks every time you move it.
Speaking of, Psycho has asked what happened. Psycho has asked what happened with your Gal Bison.
So there was this magical thing called, for some reason, that weird little, I don't know what we would call it, but like it's the two little joint. It's like that one oval joint in its groin. That thing mostly breaks on people. Most people are breaking that weird hinge joint that helps you pivot the hips. So I guess you would say like the hip pivot action is where all of that breaks. People are breaking those, and I just luckily had to get Gao Knight because I wanted to get Elephant and Kong, and so by putting that one together, its parts were actually not as tight. For some reason, there was a bit of like I wouldn't say mold degradation, but it was molded better, so they just popped on easy. They fit and they move smooth, so it doesn't feel like you're breaking it when you're moving their hips, like dropping the hips down. But the first one came out very tight that it broke itself. Same thing happened with Go-Go 5. My Go-Go 5 Victory Robo, it broke because the hole is too close to the corner, and the pin went right through it and shattered the shoulder.
Would sanding in advance to prevent the breaking or no?
Sanding in advance usually helps make it not break, but also sanding in advance makes it that like it's now looser. It's one of those things of you either sand it enough that it's not tight to break, or you sanded it too much and it's now a loose joint. Like Gao Icarus was thankfully one of those ones where, knowing that the hinges of the wings are really, really fragile, I sanded those, and I sanded them enough that they work perfectly and they glide perfectly right. There's still a bit of, torque to them, but they're not causing the pressure points. So I think one of the biggest problems with Super Mini Plot is they technically need to just be like a quarter. I'd say quarter to half an inch bigger in scale, like almost high grade level, because they're like a little shorter than a high grade. So if you just gave it just a little bit more of a percentage, it would have better stability.
As much as I would love them to make higher real grade kits of Sentai Mecha, I think the problem is, I think at that point Bandai would think they're competing with themselves because
they already.
I mean, when have they ever been worried about that though, right? I mean, Bandai's always competing with themselves. I keep looking at I keep looking at like I will buy this model kit instead of this figure art or whatever.
I think because because like stuff like the mini plot are such a small scale that they clarified that like it's so small that it's its own separate thing. Where like I feel like they made a DX, like if they made them in like real grade, they'll be a roughly maybe similar size to the DX toy, so they'll be practically competing themselves in that scenario. Is why I imagine why they don't make high grade or real grade kits.
That real grade Gal Gygar makes me wish they did though. So
yeah, I know, right? I still get that.
I haven't finished building it, and I'm already like, it's amazing.
Yeah, no, if they just do real grade and Sentai Mecha, it'd be great. I mean, it would be hard to distribute it in North America, but it'd be great.
I mean, if they exist, then that's one thing.
I think mostly should do the old Mecha, like stuff you can't get easily anymore, kind of things.
Yeah, I think if Bandai was to do, hey, we're gonna do real grade of every Sentai Robo up to Jetman, like that would make sense because Jew Ranger onwards, we practically got all of it.
Mm-hmm.
I have looked around for any last minute news in our little spheres. I realized we didn't talk anything Transformers because I didn't want to look at the G2 figures. Physically look.
You know, like 90s.
It's cool that they're making a bunch of canceled designs as Walmart exclusive. It's perfect Walmart exclusive fodder.
And no new molds so far.
Yeah, no new molds, which is good. Because look at what happened in G.I. Joe.
Yeah, thanks Target.
I don't know what the heck happened. Anyways, anybody else got Wheels? Do you have any thoughts on Hasbro lying to everybody?
Which lie was it this time?
When they tweeted that the Yellow Rangers were GameStop exclusive.
That was maybe something they had planned originally, like that, and then they reneged because they're stopping the whole store exclusive thing. It seems, except if they're repaints, like legit repaints now.
And then G.I. Joe got 2 brand new figures at Walmart.
It's confusing. I really don't think new figures. I really legit don't think new figures should be store exclusive.
Yeah.
Unless this new figure is like, hey, this is a specific version here, and then a later one that's the version that most people want will be at retail.
Big Ben is a Night Force, so I think there'll be a regular Big Ben later, but then the Range Viper is the only design of the Range Viper.
What I'll say is, I still think the original Fantastic Four should have never been Walgreens.
That was a Marvel decision.
But you get what I'm trying to say.
Yep.
I feel like stuff like that.
Yeah, that was a Marvel decision. That's a license holder thing. But with G.I. Joe, they didn't have to offer Walmart.
I submit they never when they released the Agent Venom figure, it was in anti colors instead of the normal ones. Like, god damn it, I just want the normal one because I think it's so hard to get now.
Yeah, and that's the thing is and that's why with Indiana Jones, I'm glad that Donovan and Professor Indy are now not Walmart, but then I still have to deal with Target for Kazim and the other 2 indie variants. Fan channel exclusives are fine. They're basically retail, fan channel exclusives are basically retail, right? They only you only can't buy it from Walmart and Target, but you can get it from pretty much everywhere else.
All right, Soundout. I'm gonna go grab dinner, so
I think
we're gonna wrap up because
we're
right over the time.
I'm just gonna go. So you just
Wheels say where we go. People
can find. YouTube, Twitter, Wheelchair21. Check out our awesome website, hero-club.com. And I'm pretty sure Soundout mentioned we do have
we did
spoiler-free, review for MMPR 106.
Yep.
Full detail one for Zeltrax, probably Thursday or Friday. To make sure people at least read the issue before we actually spoil them on the cool stuff that goes on in it.
Mm-hmm. It's a big one. Yeah, I mean, do we have anything else? Chat, do we have anything else to talk about? I guess I didn't do any polls this week. But,
So many.
What?
wasn't anything to pull this week. Nothing was polarizing.
I guess we should wrap up.
I think we should just wrap up. I don't have anything else.
Follow me at Dark Horse 643 on YouTube and Twitter. I do archive versions like the ones you see on this very channel. You want any? Feel free to DM me on Twitter. Where can people find you, Kaus?
Well, you can follow me at Fighter Cows, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Twitch.
If you have any questions for Sound about gaming, asking on the stream on Kaus' stream.
Which is Tuesdays at 4 p.m. Eastern on twitch.tv/FighterCows. And if you don't know how to spell it, FIGHTERXAOS. 4 p.m. Eastern.
Yep. And I'm going to answer Brian's question. Rank the Rocky and Creed movies. It goes Rocky, and then I haven't seen the rest. Like, legit, I worked on one of them, and I still haven't watched it. I'm bad about this. But the problem is not the movies. It's just that boxing is not, like, a favorite sport of mine or anything.
There are less boxing movies and this good character pieces.
I was like, maybe I do like boxing.
Especially the first one.
I watched Megalobox, and I was like, maybe I do like boxing stories. I did not watch Megalobox 2 after all this time. Like, I just haven't. It just hasn't happened. Yeah, I want to watch. I want to watch the Creed movies. I mean, I worked on one of them.
I heard the Dirt one's great.
I heard it was great too. I had a friend that went and watched it. And he's like, "This movie was great, but I was kind of bored because I knew the entire plot from the trailer." And I was like, "Was it just the trailer or just boxing movies in general?" He's like, "It's boxing movies in general. They kind of do have the same plot progression."
You're there for the characters, not for the boxing match.
Exactly, and the thing is it's not like so it's like I like the first Rocky a lot. But
first Rocky is one of my all-time favorite movies.
Yeah, it's pretty great.
It's Philadelphia bias for me.
Yeah.
No, it's a good movie in general.
No wonder you like Shazam.
I know, Philadelphia bias.
Yeah, there was a point I was making. Oh yeah, Fast and the Furious. I always know how every Fast and the Furious movie ends. It always ends with a barbecue. Like almost every one of them do. But does that stop me from watching them? No. Because I like the characters. I know the character names from Fast and the Furious now. I used to only know the actor names for like the longest time, and then I watched all the movies, and now I know the character names. I'm proud of myself. Anyways, you can find me on social media down here if you want to chase me down and say I need to watch more movies, because I do.
What's the schedule for this week?
Tiger and Bunny Storage Bangles on Wednesday, and then I'm going to make something else Friday. I'm waiting. I'm kind of padding. If it seems like I'm padding out a little bit, there is 4 Ultraman items coming to me. Like they came out today in Japan. So there's 4 Ultraman items coming, and I need to do videos on all of them. And I don't know when they're going to show up, so I'm kind of trying not to commit to a big project until I get those done. So if it does seem like some of the videos for the next like week or so are like sort of padding out time, it's because they are. So just every great anime has filler, right?
It's a filler. Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, no, I'll have something Friday, for sure. I hope all my Transformers are good. If not, you'll hear me complaining about Transformer quality or something. I don't know.
And this week's short.
Possible fly.
This week's short, and this is the problem with Transformers this week. If I go out to Target and find some indie toys, I will totally review those. But maybe I should do that.
Remember my idea.
Yeah, gotta film it. All right. See y'all next week. We're done. You can find us. We told you how you can find us. We're going to roll out of here. And I hope you all have a great week.